And we're live, ladies and gentlemen, on cricket.com. The first ever cricket.com watch along for a Women's Premier League game. And it comes, of course, from Mumbai. The Gujarat Giants taking on the Mumbai Indians women's. And it's going to be an absolutely fascinating watch because it's a historic day. Let's make no mistake. I'm Avnish Hegde. I'm absolutely going to be enthralled this Saturday evening. And we're going to be doing a watch along throughout the match. So keep your questions coming in. And of course, I have with me the very elegant and the very insightful and knowledgeable Vaishali. Thanks for joining me in this watch along. How are you feeling?
Thank you, Avnish. I'm feeling out of the ball today. To be
Are you?
honest,
Are
yes.
you?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I'm doing this from here. This is the day we have been waiting for all over the years, and it's finally here. Just that tears are not rolling down the cheeks, but you can see the excitements and the energy I have. I've been waiting for this day, and today is the day when Indian cricket will just see heights, and then it will grow like anything. You will see the stars which we have been watching, we have been reading about in the domestic circuit, but today is their day, and everyone who can put this together, and finally we are living this dream. I think it's a dream come true, and it's only gonna be upwards and onwards.
Okay, that's fantastic to hear. I'm fascinated to see someone like you because I think I'm thinking about it from Saturday morning, from to the time you woke up this morning. Were you setting alarms in a way that, okay, fine, this is the day that we're all waiting for as women cricket fans, that the Women's Premier League is going to take off? And because we know what happened 15 years ago in the men's, where RCB took on KKR and then Brendan McCullum played the rock, and the rest, as they say, is history. Do you think this game can captivate the imagination of the nation?
Before that, I want to say that you put the alarm. I couldn't sleep the whole night because
Fair.
I couldn't sleep the whole night.
Fair.
But yeah, we can see one of that blockbuster inning, and I can assure you guys, you won't disappoint. This game will have different individuals performing, and we can have different kind of performance from them. And but this is the start, and you will see the stars, and you'll be amazed by them. Trust me.
Absolutely. Now, before we go along in this watch along, if you guys are joining us for the first time, do subscribe. The bottom right hand corner. It is great to subscribe to cricket.com because we have some fascinating content. We'll tell you all the teams and all of that. The big breaking news is, of course, the Gujarat Giants, the captain being Beth Mooney, winning the toss and deciding to bowl first. Now, very little data, of course, in the women's side of things, but we have the data pack right now. If you guys want to get a hand of this, not literally, but you guys can access all the stats in terms of cricket.com's app. It's brand new. It's absolutely scintillating. Download it right now on both the Android and the iOS platform. Before the first ball commences, we will tell you about the teams, again, checking out the app. And I want to get Vaishali's perspective on both the teams because still, there are a few household names, yes, but the other names, of course, will surprise a few. So talk to me about Gujarat Giants first. I know the fact that they have some international stars and quality. Beth Mooney, we just, of course, mentioned, and not to forget people like Ashley Gardner, for example, or Sneh Rana. But the rest of them, how do you feel who matches up in this one? Do you think Mumbai Indians are favorites or Gujarat Giants are looking more powerful?
I think whoever will capitalize the momentum will
Okay.
win. The teams look balanced. Before that, talking about Beth Mooney, as you guys might know, that Beth Mooney doesn't have the captaincy experience as much.
Correct.
She hasn't captained Australia side, not even in WBBL, and not even in the Australians domestic circuit. So that is something which is new for her.
Yeah.
Plus, if I talk about the domestic talent, I was just reading the playing 11. So I think Tanuja Kanwar is someone, she was the player of the match in
Correct.
the seniors women T20 that has just happened, and Railway won it. So you can definitely look forward for her.
Okay.
And then you have D. Hemlata. She has actually played for India as well, but she can tong the ball high. And then Monica Patel. She has also played for India.
Yeah.
But these are the guys which are there in Gujarat Giants, and Gujarat Giants has actually adopted a very nice strategy. They have three-piece options in Monica Patel, Mansi Joshi, and Tanuja Kanwar can actually surprise you guys. She's a left-arm spinner, and she can actually take quick wickets whenever we need. It's
Yeah.
not only power play or someone. Whenever you need, she can do that. Talking about Mumbai Indians, I think all the names you see, like they have one of the best middle
Yeah.
order in this tournament going forward
Correct.
in terms of net savior, Harmanpreet Kaur and Emila Kaur.
Yeah.
And then they have the hitters in Amanjot Kaur and Pooja Vastrikar. The name here is Humaira Kazi. I
Yeah.
think she has done really well, and she's the one you can look forward for. And same with Jintimani Kalita.
Okay.
and Saika Ishak as well.
Yeah.
Saika Ishak. So I think Mumbai have actually three domestic players, while Gujarat Giants has only one in Hamza Kanwar.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix in Mumbai Indians. Let's see how they go. But looks like both the sides are well settled. Gujarat Giants has relied more over Australian this thing, but let's see how it goes. And I'm pretty excited to see the domestic talents.
Yeah, I think that's a good lowdown of some of the new names you'll hear. You'll, of course, see some new talents, and that's the perfect platform that this Women's Premier League will provide going forward in the years to come. But even in this tournament, it will definitely light up and take women's cricket onwards and upwards. Now, if you guys are wondering what is this, I just, of course, alerted you about all the cricket.com stats. Now, I, of course, want to pertain to the venue here. It's just two games that we saw not too long ago in that Australia-India series, both high-scoring encounters. Do you think that'll now be playing on the batters who are going to come out, saying that they have to kind of go from word go?
See, I think DY Patil has always been a high scoring ground. I think the average score is around 180 or so.
Yeah.
But I feel I don't think so. Players will come like they should come with this empty sled. However, the situation play they have to go. There shouldn't be any specific state burden on yourself saying 180 is actually the par minimum score and you have to score that. I think you have to play the situation, see how the ballers are coming, how if there's any assistant to ballers in terms of swing and spin. So play according to the situation. Do not have any particular state in your mind, but just go, and then obviously once you spend 1 or 2 hours, you will know okay what kind of wicket is this, and then you can bring down or you can set your target that this is what we want to achieve as a team, and which we will be able to defend it later.
Let's see how it all unfolds because, of course, it's a brand new tournament. It's going to take the world by storm. Some of the action, at least, we saw that with the 100 women's competition in the UK 2 years ago. So I'm hoping that the WPL will live up to the billing, and it will. Look, if you guys are, of course, joining us, keep your comments coming through. Keep your questions, of course. We're going to get Crazy Nicks joining us. We're going to get Gurkirat. We're going to get all the insights and stats that you guys want to know. So it's going to be the perfect place to be in the next 4 hours or so. And of course, sync your streams in because you won't want to miss out on the action. Now, another few things that I want to discuss with Vaishali before the boys hop on is who's she backing in the tournament. She'll be diplomatic by saying cricket and I want to see domestic talents.
Yes.
But because we're having an inner game in our office, I want to ask you who you're backing this tournament.
Okay, what you said is right, but I'm not being diplomatic. Honestly, I want every domestic player to do well and Indian players to do well. Really honest, it's very difficult to choose sides because I have been watching and I've been following some cricketers since so long, and they are distributed amongst different teams, so I cannot.
But if you have to choose, okay, if you have to make a prediction, who's winning the tournament? No, who's winning the tournament?
I want to see one game of each.
No, outright prediction. Everyone's made their predictions. I'm saying RCB, even though I've never seen it. I'm backing RCB, and I think they'll win it.
I think in that case, I think top three contender. I will tell you one.
There's 5 teams. You gotta tell me one.
Okay, give me some time.
No. If you guys know Vaishali to let us know in the comments. I mean, let us know in the comments her predictor right now because it's tiring me in terms of understanding who she's gonna be backing for this WPL. I know it's RCB for me. In this match, I think I'm gonna go with the Gujarat Giants.
I think Mumbai will win.
Okay, fine. So there we have it. At least there's some sort of
competition.
Competition.
Yeah.
I think she's secretly backing Mumbai Indians even in the whole scheme of thing because that's her team generally. And look at the man who's popped up in blue, talking about the Mr. Fantasy Cricket expert, Nikhil Popat. Good to see you smiling instead of being sad after the fact that we discussed India Australia. By the way, history as the first ever ball in WPL faced Yastika Bhatia and Ash Gardner. Nix, how are we this evening and how pumped are you for the next couple of hours?
This tells you it's not something that I wear very often.
Okay.
I think I use it only when it's very, very important. A lot of us were very young when we had the McCullum memories. Today is the day to make a fresh start and have something that we can cherish all our lives. 10, 15 years back, when India's won a few more World Cups, we can sit along and say that, okay, yes, we were there when the first match began, doing a watch along. I think it's about time. We've discussed at length and breadth why we needed this. Glad it is finally here and finally begun. Let's hope for a good game.
Let's hope for a good game. Now, straight away spin into the attack and Ash Gardner. We saw her do that in the semi-final against India as well, right, in the World Cup. So she's, of course, used to doing these things. And straight away on the money, 4 dot balls. Chant going on saying, let's go Mumbai, let's dominate the WPL also in terms of trophies, of course. So we, of course, know Chant's allegiance. Next, I'm going to throw you on the spot as well here because I asked, meanwhile, first runs of the WPL, and I think it'll just be a single to deep mid-wicket. Who are you backing, my friend? Predictions before the tournament. She's going with Mumbai Indians, I'm going with RCB.
You have just decided by yourself. I'm not saying.
So who are you going to go for?
I can't decide sides. I'm telling you, I've been very diplomatic. I can't decide sides.
Wow, I think she's been paid by the BCCI. Obviously, she doesn't want to make her club known. Next, what about you?
I think it is very good. It's very hard to look beyond UP for me. I think they have a very good setup. I'm not sure about the Healy captaincy bit, but I still think they should be meeting one of these two teams in the finals.
Okay.
And before that, I would like to just apologize. I have a bad throat, so I can cough in
No,
between.
we forgive you.
But I didn't want to miss this, so I'm here. So yeah.
No, we absolutely appreciate not just Vaishali, but Nick's being here. Gurkirat's going to be joining us as well. So, of course, tell us who you guys are supporting if you guys are watching this right now in terms of who you think out of the 5 teams can really win it. I know there's all pretty much great squads across the 5 teams as we can see, but surely there's a certain favorite, a certain soft corner that everyone will definitely have. Now, Yastika Bhatia and Hayley Matthews. Now, this is what interests me, right? The fact that we're going to see all these players rub shoulders and share dressing rooms with each other. What's the thought process with the opening pair here, Nix? And then Vaishali can also have a say. Who's going to be the aggressor and who's going to be the sort of anchor in this, you feel?
Yeah, I think they will take some of their time. She was in tremendous form in the World Cup. We saw how she began very quickly, and again, Yastika is someone who can find the gaps very easily up top. So that will be the role. I think they'll still wait for a couple of overs just to see if there is anything that you think that may trouble them, because we only saw spin first up. Now we'll see Mansi Joshi come in and bowl pace. So we'll know if there is any movement. If not, the ball is going to fly, and hopefully that happens from both ends because Dew is likely to come in. So yeah, that's.
The ball's going to fly, Nick. It's going to fly for 6. The first ever 6. I mean, I think Mansi Joshi forever in the next 20 years will be remembered for conceding.
Trivia. This is going to be a trivia half hour. First ever 6, all of that. I think if somebody can just emulate how 2008 started, it doesn't need to, but it will just set the ball rolling crazily, even if it comes at the expense of RCB. But yeah, it's okay.
No, I mean, that's a good point. I was just thinking about it, guys. Before Mansi just bowls the second ball, it's swatted away. I think they should get. It's 4. Mansi Joshi not happy, conceding 10 of the first 2 balls. So, Nix and Vaishali, here's one for you guys to consider, right? That IPL that we saw 2008, we know that whatever happened to the IPL has happened for the good. But if it wasn't Brendan McCullum's knock that night, that crazy innings he played, do you think IPL would have still had the same catalyst effect?
Yeah, I think over the years, yes. Obviously, that has a different impact. It has actually set the IPL on fire.
Yeah.
But after that, also we have seen some brilliant knocks.
Yeah.
So people who have been watching IPL right from the start in the first year, obviously that would stand out for them. But I think there are some people who have started watching after it.
Correct.
IPL. I won't say that if I remove that knock, IPL will not be the way it is now.
Yeah.
It has an impact, but then there are many memories that have been added after it.
Okay, fair thoughts. I mean, Nick, do you agree with her? But just my question being, the way that he lit up the tournament was so captivating. It just captivated the whole world, essentially.
Yeah, I think, as she rightly said, it would have still gone on to become maybe what it is, but maybe it just, accelerated that process. That to have something as amazing as that, because you wouldn't have minded a 50, 60 or also. But to go on and hit a score like that, it just accelerated that process by a lot, maybe a few years. That okay, wow, this is already arrived, because you were just starting to get a hang of it, and suddenly it just keeps you hooked. That okay, no, I need to watch it. It may not be something that you relate to directly. That okay, who should I back? Every team has my heroes, and that is why this is also critical, because Now sitting here, I will say that okay, I want UP to win, but I'll still want an Amanjot Kaur to do well. I'll still want Harleen Deol to start well because you are always going to think India first, but that's
Yeah.
maybe us old school thinking. But
No, I
the league,
fully, I
we are
fully
not
agree.
you.
Why am I not able to pick the sides?
True, but at least he's saying UP, na.
Ah,
So
okay.
I'm saying support a team, no problem. Say Mumbai Indians, but support, whoever. I just want to get the cat out of the bag. So Chand, we're going to say Haley Matthew, what a shot, absolute sublime shot. Expensive over here, 4 balls into the second over of the very first WPL game. Mansi Joshi running into goal, the Yastika Bhatia. And she's been a little, of course, stuck, but she'll find her feet. Haley Matthews so far has bailed her out. But Vaishali was just telling me next, this batting order that Mumbai have, especially in the middle orders, look at it. Natalie Siver. Of course, you have, not to forget the captain herself, Pooja, Izzy Bong.
Amida.
I mean, the names just go on. Amelia Kerr as well at
Yeah.
7 down.
One of the best middle order in this tournament
Yeah.
going around, to be honest.
Next, you agree? One of the best?
Definitely because of the experience that they have.
Yeah.
What I think will also be very, very important for them is most of these players bat at a very different stage of the match for their national sides, and that is, I feel, it's going to be a challenge. That how do you define where do you want Natalia Skiver to come? Where do you feel Amelia Kerr fits best in the game? So I think strategy-wise, tactic-wise, those will make for a very fun viewing. But in that entire lineup, I'm still waiting and hoping that Saika Ishak bowls well and she picks up a few wickets because she did well in the warm-ups as well. And it's talent meets opportunity. This is the Indian talent that you want to come through because every team has the best possible players overseas and Indian as well. But it's the you want these dreams to go out to people that will sleep today thinking that okay, wow, I can get there. It's possible. That is what the WPL actually stands for. Being
Yeah.
able to give you that platform that you can dream of something like that happening for you.
Okay, I think today the life will change in the Indian women's setup
Yes.
in India. Actually,
Yeah.
till today, people who were playing like they were playing with an aim to represent India someday. But now
That
people
is
can
true.
think that this is where we can get along. This is the opportunity where we can spend our time with Beth Mooney, Elisa Haley, Matt Lady, this kind of people, the people who are
Yeah.
representing India.
And
So this
and
is
this is
like
not wrong. And this is not wrong. Before people jump on that bandwagon as well, that it is causing problems to international cricket, dude, just look and hear what Shefali and Richa Ghosh have said about how this WPL is going to affect them. Not
Yeah.
everybody is privileged enough to be able to pick formats to be able to play for their nation.
Correct.
Everybody needs a livelihood. This is going to do that. So just have that in mind before jumping on that bandwagon already. That what IPL has done, WPL will do this, they'll have a window. It's okay. People are finding ways to earn money. It is fine.
Yeah.
yeah. And just to tell you, you are seeing Tanuja
Oh,
Kanwar.
gone!
Oh,
Gone! Tanuja
Tanuja
Kanwar gets
Kanwar.
the first
Yes.
ever wicket of
I
the
told you,
WPL.
right?
And
Uh,
Vaishali calls it. I mean, essentially, Yastika just looked, stuck.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Essentially, 8-ball-1, and it was spin again. I mean,
yeah.
we've seen 3 different bowlers bowl the first 3 overs of the WPL, and a simple catch, and she's not dropping that, the Aussie.
Yes. Tanuja Kanwar, just to tell you guys, just recently concluded Senior One Day Trophy. She was the player of the match. She plays for Railway and she has been performing well at the domestic level since a long time now. And I was telling just before in my preview also, I did a short preview in which that the problem with Mumbai Indians will gonna be the power play score with Yasika and Helly Matthews. I think Helly has like played a different inning to till now, but Yastika, that strike rate issue, we know that it is there. But if they can, kind of build a good score in the power play, they have a firepower to back it up later.
Correct.
But then up front, if you face like 8 or 9 balls and only play 1 or 2 runs, like only play for 1 or 2 runs, I think that's where the problem will arise.
Yeah.
So this is something going forward, Yastika would want to change. Uh, and Ned Xavier is in the house, guys.
Nat
Ned
Siva's in the
Xavier's
house.
home
I mean, I'm
and
curious to know how they kind of go on with that opening partnership. Of course, it's just the first game and we're not really nitpicking too much, but maybe because it's a left hand, right hand supplementing each other
They
well.
have Dhara Gujar.
Yeah. which could be an option going forward in the tournament. But I'm guessing they've gone for the tried and tested Yastika, who's done it for
And
India.
actually, they have spent like 1.5 crore for her, so definitely they would want to back her.
Yeah.
So let's see. I really hope that Yastika comes good in the coming matches, because that will benefit Indian cricket.
So essentially, in that middle order, I mean, sorry, that top or that whole batting order of Mumbai Indians, essentially the two lefties are Yastika and Dhara, right? Or are they more?
Dhara is not playing today.
She's not playing today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dhara Guja is a left-hand batter. She's not playing today. But I think they have people waiting in the wings who can actually be a good replacement. But I think that's not. This is just a start. So they would obviously
Yeah.
want to spend some time Yastika.
Correct.
So hopefully she comes good in the coming matches. But I don't think so. This is how it will work in the WPL. To be honest, you
Yeah.
have to at least play a run of ball innings.
No, absolutely, for sure. So 16 for 1, and what a fantastic first over from Kamla. She has another ball remaining, remember? 17 for 1 right now.
So trivia, first ball, first 6 is by Haley Matthew,
Yeah.
and first wicket is by Tanuja Kanwar in the WPL.
What about the men's side of things? Do you remember, Nick, the first wicket pouch, that match? RCB, surely someone. I think Praveen Kumar, Zahir, who was it?
Yeah, I think it was one of them, one of the two. Looks more like Praveen Kumar to me, but let's good thing to search. Let's get that
Yeah. Oh,
out as
actually,
well.
I mean, RCB just had a test attack that I think Sunil Joshi was playing.
They still do. Oh no, not now.
I mean, yeah, it's honestly a theme which has existed for the last 15 years. But
Zahir
yeah,
Khan.
So-
Zahir Khan was the first wicket,
Oh, Zahir Khan. And who was
and
that?
Saurav Ganguly.
Oh, Dada was the first, like, oh, another lefty.
Yeah,
Yastika is another lefty.
Yeah, that's what it's another lefty.
Yeah.
Well, look at that batting order, though. There's plenty of runs to come. MI 17 for 1. I can't believe I'm actually doing Watchalong for the Women's Premier League first, more than the IPL, but that's always
Pinch
good
yourself,
to know.
Pinch yourself.
We should
It
pinch
happens.
ourselves. And it's good to see that even the crowds turned up. That's the most
Yes.
important thing.
And that's a great move by BCCI. We should appreciate that they
100%.
have made the entry free, and even for boys,
Oh,
it's a
in the
very
air.
nominal
Correct.
fee. So, and thanks for the crowd also. They are actually going and supporting the team. So yeah, hopefully.
Correct. So Abbas wants to know, good question. So if you're just joining us, Nick's going to at least back UP Warriors by the look of things. I'm going to be backing, of course, RCB. No prizes for
Okay,
getting
Mumbai
there.
and UP.
Mumbai and
Oh.
UP. So
how many sides left?
Yeah, how many sides left?
Okay, Mumbai and UP. See, that's what I can't pick sides. Literally.
So
I can't
basically,
pick sides.
Mumbai. Let's treat Vaishali
Yeah.
as a Mumbai fan.
Yeah.
Like, let's go with it. Mansi continuing to, of course, bowl despite conceding 12 in her first over. Haley Matthews working that off for a single. Now, it also begs the question about going forward. That once the tournament's actually been played across 5 venues, that's where you'll see, like, the
Yeah.
Chinnaswamy being filled,
Home crowd.
home crowd, Ahmedabad, of course. That'll be super exciting. I feel personally, at least.
Yeah, definitely we'll have the home and away fixtures the way we have in IPL.
Yeah.
Hopefully, so this is just a start, as we are saying that a lot of things will unfold. Maybe few more teams, few more domestic talents.
Yeah.
So that also will happen, but at least it has started. That's the best thing.
That's the best
We
part.
can add on, saying that this is what we want, this is what we want. It will come, but it has started. That's the best thing I would want as of now today.
No, absolutely. So Nat Siva and Haley Matthews batting out there for the Mumbai Indians. It feels strange to say that, but look, that's how it is now. The WPL started, and give us some love, of course. Like this and share this video as much as possible. Tell your friends, because we'll be talking about a bunch of things. Promise you that. And we're so glad that we don't have to talk about any of the shit BGT which went on in the last 4 or 5 days, because that, of course, drove up a wall in terms of Knicks and Som and Gurkirat the day. You guys can catch that if you want. But 18 for 1, 3.3. What's your power play predictions, guys? So far, we've just seen 1-6.
That's good.
And
Nice
that's
shot,
is that the first boundary?
from that seven?
No, isn't it in the WPL?
No.
No, Matthews.
Oh, correct, the misfield.
Misfield
So
as
he
well.
Matthews has his first 6 and the 4.
Yeah.
Next CSK jersey also yellow up. Is that also the reason saying Abbas Kundi?
I think it's more for Dipti and Sophie as opposed to the jersey color. And I think even with CSK, I think the love or the affection is because of how they emulated a unit that was. It is, you can see there are a lot of similarities in between how CSK assembled their best peak unit in 10-11. They had plenty of all-rounders who felt they were always playing with an extra player for the conditions. And I think UP, they will get there. It's just the start of the WPL, but I feel the core is very strong. I mean, for me, it was Dipti, Sophia Cliston. These two names are enough for me to back their side because, again, there is a fantasy bias. These two have saved me on numerous, countless, hundreds of occasions. So you kind of feel indebted that no, you should definitely back them to
So,
come good.
so
So
one
yeah.
sec, on that front, what did you go for today? I mean, because there's obviously no shortage of all rounders in both teams
Yeah.
today. So how did you kind of go about your thinking?
So obviously you'll begin with I've packed the team with most overseas all rounders in all the sides because
Okay.
common sense will tell you that they are more likely to take up the key spots and the
Hmm.
key roles. But I do have Mansi Joshin, I had Tanwar, I have Saika Ishak, and many such all such local players sprinkle across my teams because it's the visual addition. So some of them will work, some of them will not. But this is the fun. The starting few games are always fun because you don't know who's going to bat where in what role.
Yeah.
So let's see, we crack a good one maybe soon. Who knows?
Okay. 2 overs left in the power play, Vaishali. So far,
Yeah.
we've seen spin kind of really keep the runs at the bare minimum, and Mansi Joshi's conceded, I think, 16 to 17 out of the 24 scored. Do you think they'll kind of again play in the batter's ego right now
I think
with
Tanuja
spin?
Kanwar, she should get one more.
Okay, but they've gone to Monica
Monica
Patel.
Patel, she's also a seamer.
Okay.
So
But do you think seam is, I mean, pace is a good option right now because it's coming on good to the bat?
yeah, but I think Monica will get early swing, or so that's one of the reason I guess they have given it to her. And
Does Beth Mooney know that, or do you think that she's been told by
so we have
Mithali?
Nushin, we have Mithali, right? They are the think tank.
Okay.
And you will see Gujarat and they have two connections. Railway connection and Australia connection.
Oh, correct. So it's
So
just
railway
basically.
from domestic, Australia from international. So you'll see the players filled up with railways and Australia in the Gujarat Giants team.
Yeah.
So I think they would have definitely strategized because Bethuni also, I think she just flew some 2-3 days back, so she wouldn't have that much of knowledge about how the players are. Obviously, there must have been a strategy or something. So I think that's how they are going about it.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it actually. Like you look at the Gujarat squad pretty much, and it's all these top Aussie players, and of course lots of talent from railways, like Vaishali says. So let's see how Monica goes about it. Her first ball, left arm pace, and Haley Matthews flicks her away for another single to a fine leg. It also asks you just in terms of variety, right?
Yeah.
There's some fantastic players on offer. I mean, I'm just thinking about it, and it's just like mind blowing that India now will have a great talent pool to pick from,
Yes.
which is what we want, right?
Which is what we want, which is what we wanted the world to see.
Yeah.
This is the talent that we have. Just that the opportunity wasn't coming for them to showcase that they were showcasing in the domestic circuit, but obviously that domestic circuit the games that means the games are not televised, and you only see the scorecard most of the time. So you don't actually know the scorecard always doesn't tell you the whole story, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we wanted, and this is what we are finally getting. So obviously, this player also will take 1 or 2 games to settle down their nerves and all, and we will see you. You will go UP Warriors. You will find people like UP Warriors. May if I have to say, okay, I'll come to UP Warriors later. DC Capitals, Jasia Akhtar. If you will see the talent that she has, you will be like amazed. She can actually clear any ground.
Ooh, what a ball that is from Monica.
I think that's the reason the ball was given to her. She can get that early.
Natsiva played the wrong line there. I know Natsiva's from England and she has to take the tubes. I think she took the Piccadilly line and that was a Bakerloo line by the looks of things. But it's a good start so far from Monica Patel.
Yeah.
She's played for India before, right?
Yeah,
She's capped.
Yeah, she's capped.
Also, a silly question from me right now, but in terms of jerseys, guys, which jersey fascinates you the most so far? We've seen all the 5 jerseys so far on Twitter and all of that.
I think and Mumbai Indians is a soothing one. This jersey looks like soothing.
What color is UP's, by the way?
UP is like a
Yellow and purple.
Okay, yellow and
Yeah.
purple. Shashank going on to say, by the way, MI needs to hire good designers for their jersey. The jersey look good. Just as you spoke. I like RCB's jersey, but I don't like their sponsors.
It's the same. Right?
I don't like this like
RCB and DC.
I mean, no offense, Kajaria, if you want to sponsor the show, you can. But honestly, like Mia, Tanishq, and Kajaria and all these.
Yeah, RCB DC is almost have the same jersey as the men's
Yeah.
circle, right? So, this looks a bit orange on the Gujarat ones.
It's a bit orange, looks a bit orange indeed. But you know, when they first kind of spoke about the WPL, I was hoping it would just be an extension of the men's thing in terms of the same eight franchisees,
Yeah.
all same names, and where you have like academies for both boys and girls as a
Together.
stepping path
Mm.
to enter that. That's how they do it in the county as well, right, Nick? Like if you're playing for Kent, it's a T20 Blast and all that. I mean, I know they don't have Kent women and all that, but like, do you think
Yeah, I
that would?
think it probably would have been the ideal case, but you still have three of them.
Yeah.
So I think it's only going to expand, and once it expands, I'm sure we are more likely to see them getting into the system. I think because they maybe wanted, again, these are things that the discussion will go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So let's keep it to when they expand, they'll get in, because I'm sure most of the teams wanted to get in, because see, you already have a base, and you can also see in the way the sides are functioning. Uh, I mean, it might be a dampener, but we've read what Dottin is just put out just a while back. Now those are not good experiences, and I don't think an established IPL franchise would have had something like this going on there, where you say that a player is out for medical grounds, but the player is saying that I'm fine, which just opens up
Nick, so for the people who don't know, can you just explain that, Nick, what
The
Dottin
first
put out?
controversy of
yeah,
WPL before even the
because
WPL ball was
Okay,
began.
formed.
what is his controversy? Nick, explain.
So Diana Dottin, the West Indies legend, Gujarat put out a statement that she was out of the WPL on injury grounds, but and everybody was asking her, like, wishing that get well soon, and she's like, what? She's quoted a few posts on Instagram as well, that what am I recovering from? I'm fine. And but then there is no other communication, so it's a classic BCCI that transparency has gone again for a toss, and which is why I felt an existing IPL franchise may not have let it gone to that stage, and they would have probably covered up the situation much better. But what is a tournament without something like this? It's just a given. We were just hoping that everything is clear, but
Yeah,
can't.
I mean, the BCCI will probably say lost in translation or something like that. Some like
No, no,
bullshit
I really
We
excuse.
hope that
don't.
there is a reason behind it, because that's not how we wanted the world to see our
Yes.
that. Because
Yeah.
the trust is the most important thing, and even without the first match or first ball being bowled, if this is how first thing which will come out of WPL is like that, I would never want to do that. The trust is most important thing, and the
And it's
fans.
not. And sorry to interrupt. It's not even who she is. She is a great of the game. It doesn't matter male or female or whatever. There is no distinction in that sense. You can't treat any player like that. So
Yeah.
forget it. That's done to Deandra Dottin.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean, that story is, of course, gonna be soft for a while and understandably
yeah,
so. And let's hope that is not the case
plays
going
out.
forward. Just coming back to
Yeah.
the action because the wicket taker is continuing and it's a final over the power play, 35 for one, 5 overs gone. Haley Matthews on strike. And on that note, we can, of course, say hello to
Yes.
Kira.
That's
Haley Matthews, brilliant shot there for four. Gurkirat, how are you, my friend? And how excited are you to talk about the WPL? Because so far, so good. 39 for one. What are your first impressions?
No, so firstly, I just want to say that I'm very happy that this women's Premier League juggernaut has finally begun. It was definitely quite a few years in the making. Uh, you know, Probably we are 5 years late to this, but glad that it's finally happening. On a personal note, I actually look forward to this tournament to educate myself to more towards women's cricket, like you know because of the amount of cricket that happens and somewhere the lack of coverage of women's cricket as well. I've not been able to follow women's cricket as closely as possible, but hopefully now it helps me educate myself a lot more towards the tournament. And I also hope that on the 26th of March or maybe the 27th, uh, we have an answer for those who kept saying, oh, that women's cricket doesn't have any audience, it won't generate any interest, it won't garner any numbers. I hope all those who said statements and stuff on similar lines have nowhere to hide. I just hope that this tournament delivers on that front, because we, like I said, we were far too late to bring this up, because this is going to be the 16th year of the men's IPL. Ideally, this should have happened after the 27 Women's World Cup, but glad it's happening, and hopefully, the women's sport in the country, not just in cricket, grows from strength to strength from here on, and it lays a foundation for a lot of other, women-centric leagues to come up with. There are already a few, but I just hope it leads the way for a lot more such tournaments to come up.
Interesting views over there. I'm going to ask you, of course, who you're backing in the WPL because look, so far we have all different selections: Mumbai Indians, RCB. There's a UP Wizards over here. I mean, not here, but like as you can see, it pointed towards Nick. Are you Delhi Capitals? Because you're Delhi Capitals for the men's side of things.
No, no. I remember doing this show last week with Shweta and Nikhil, and I said that I'll actually be following this tournament with a very open mind and not having any favorites because
You can't sit in the fence, bro. You got to just pick someone.
because allegiance to one Delhi Capitals and one Delhi franchise has hurt me a lot. I can't take that
I'm going
risk.
so मेरा भी है same scene है भाई. What do you mean?
No, but as of now, I definitely don't have any personal
Yeah, I
favorites.
share the pain with you, bro. Delhi and RCB are similar. We both had good teams over the years. We've had better teams, of course, but we've not got silverware. And even you've not got silverware. So now let's hope the women get the silverware for us.
I think Amnish has come up with an agenda that
See,
he
the
will ask
the
everyone.
only good thing is the only good thing is
See, the IPL also what it did, guys, you have to agree with me, is it made India more tribal. Tribalisms come out. Like, I'll support my CSK, I'll support my RCB. Of course, like Gurkirat's have been a lifelong DC fan or DD fan before that, right?
yeah, we DC fans don't want to remember the good old days of DD. But yeah, I mean the only good thing that gives me some hope about Delhi Capitals is that they have a captain who's had a lot of success in a lot of tournaments across the women's cricket scene, which is Meg Lanning. So hopefully her experience, really comes into play for Delhi, and helps them probably win their first ever trophy across both the IPLs. But yeah, I'm not as attached yet because I also, like I said, I don't. I'm still I actually keep saying that all of us are a student of the game, but I am a bigger student, in a smaller standard or in a younger standard when it comes to women's cricket. So for me to pick favorites right now is not very easy because I really don't know the respective strengths of both the teams. Just trying to
How?
figure out.
So he's going to mail without any attachments. It's okay. We got it.
Yeah,
We got it. We got
yeah.
it.
Maybe we can use the word no strings attached.
Oh, by the way, if you guys
Okay,
want
on Monday I am a Delhi Capital supporter. On Tuesday I am a RCB supporter. On Wednesday I am a Gujarat Giants supporter. On
Classic,
Thursday,
classic Twitter user. Classic Twitter user.
classic. Classic. Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth. I mean, but it's actually a good point that he mentioned there because look, the action comes quite thick and fast. We're doing watch-alongs for all the games, so feel free to join us. Tomorrow it's RCB Delhi
And again,
and again Gujarat.
is playing.
Just a word on the crazy scheduling, guys, because
Yeah.
okay, if I had 8 teams in the men's IPL, you'd still have a breather. But 5 teams, one team will be taxed here and there. And do you think teams will be okay with that? You feel? And I know there's no traveling this time because it's all similar venues. By the way, 49 for 1, 6.5. Join us. What a word about the scheduling?
See, scheduling is definitely will go here and there because of the fighting, but I think team will be more than happy to play because they are getting to play the
Correct.
IPL. So I don't think so they will have much of the problems in terms of that we are having a back to back there. But definitely BCCI should look into it going forward. See, because you cannot have a team playing in a 24 hours, right?
Correct.
So that's something which they should want to look into it. But yeah, teams will not complain, I guess.
Nix, what's your view on this? Because I know it's just a 22-day tournament, so fatigue really won't come into it. But a word on the scheduling, does it sit right with you? That Gujarat, for example, play what in 24 hours, like you said?
Yeah, and maybe this is why if you see the entire schedule, there are a couple of scheduled breaks as well, where there is a day like on 17th March where there is no games because had there been one, then Gujarat are playing 3 days in a row. So then that again you can't do, which is why they have a break on the 19th March as well. Why these breaks are also important is because these are all of course, great international stars, but you want to take care of the injury status of for every franchise. Now, you would not want to lose out on a star player because you are playing back-to-back games, and which is where your bench strength and your planning will come to the fore. That okay, now Gujarat know they are playing tomorrow as well, so it will reflect in the way they use the resources on both those days. So I think that is something will be, as Vaishali said, they will firstly always take it with a pinch of salt that at least we are playing. But I don't think it's the right way to start. But as long as it is begun, hopefully it's taken care of in the coming times.
Okay, let's see how it all goes. But you guys, like I said, can catch us, and I can't wait for Monday because I don't know. Vaishali's doing that game. It's RCB versus MI, and it's going to be a little tasty clash. That definitely, rest assured, split the up against Harman. All the fascinating subplots. We'll be there Monday night, 9 p.m. Do not miss it. Right, 49 for once, and that's Silver, of course, 22-15.
Time for a wicket.
20. Sorry, Nick.
Time for wicket.
Time for a wicket because it's a favorite number. So let's see.
Exactly. Oh, is that a wicket? Is that a wicket? No, it's
It's
actually
good
a
for
six. And yet again, it's a leg side boundary preferred by Hayley Matthews. She's got her second
The
maximum.
one thing, the one thing that I feel is going to be very important in this tournament to make sure that the audience stays intact and keeps watching regular games is the pitches, because I felt when India played Australia in that 5 match series, the pitches were actually quite good, because my personal belief in is that in T20s you want to see runs being scored, you want to see fours and sixes rather than batters struggling to put bat to ball, which is why
Yeah.
I don't like when when you see the kind of T20s that we saw in Sharjah in 2021, or what we saw very recently between India and New Zealand in Lucknow. So far, I think this pitch has been quite a good one in terms of stroke making. And, if we can consistently have games of 150, 160, 170, it will actually make for great viewing. And also, I believe it will make sure that the Indian women's team, which has struggled on that front, wherein they struggle to pace their chases, they also become more acclimatized, so as to say, to chase these big
Gosh,
scores.
she's gone cow corner, and boy, she's looking threatening. All right, Hayley
Wow.
Matthews. She's looking absolutely brilliant. But Gulti, you made some good points there. I mean, that India Australia series, some mad matches. One went to the Super Over, and like you said, it's in my data pack. You guys can check out all the stats from the venue on our app as well. It'll show you that the average first score and the winning scores one.
I, I, I want to I want to make another example over it. I'm not so sure of how, maybe Nikhil can correct me if I go wrong here, but I think the popularity of a league like PSL also went up when the pitches became more conducive to run scoring, because
Yeah.
when the matches used to happen in UAE, and you had pitches where the run scoring wasn't as conducive, there was not as much interest. But since the matches have moved to Karachi and Lahore, where run scoring is far more conducive, you get 180, 190 kind of scores. Matches have become, they've garnered a far more interest, I believe. Maybe Nikhil can correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, I think it's a general consensus for most of the leagues that we see. If even if take the example of the IPL which we had in the UAE when there
Yeah.
were tired decks, not many people were wanting to watch. So it's just a very common phenomenon that only people like me who have no other work and privilege to be still in this work will want to watch everything that comes along. But your normal average cricket consumer still wants a good game, runs, boundaries, wickets, as opposed to just a lot of hard work and a scrap kind of game. So yeah, completely agree.
Mm. I mean, it just makes you think about how the game can be a better advertisement, right, Vaishali? Would you like, say, the tournament that we're going to see in the next, say, 5 to 7 days, the tournament, 30 games, compared to 120 play 130?
Yeah, definitely. I would want to see as a viewer, as a fan, even as a whatever it you call a high scoring game. At the same point of time, I don't want the bowlers to not have any kind of assistance from the pitch, and they are just playing on a flat decks.
Yeah.
So I think if there is a competition between skill versus skill, where even after bowling such a good deliveries and even after having that assistant, you still see a blockbuster knock by Sigma, which
Yeah.
is what I'll appreciate.
No, I actually agree with you because we want to see all not just a bat we bat contest. And I'm not saying the 180 sometimes is always bat we bat, but invariably it is. 62 for one so far. The spinners have kept a kind of lid on things. But Haley Matthews on fire, like Chance rightly says in the comments, and she
God.
goes again. Wow, she's an absolute fire.
And she's clearing the bigger boundaries, not the shorter one.
She is, and she's not afraid to take the leg spinner on 68 for one. And that was a quicker ball, 102.6 kilometers per hour, but she picked it. She picked it all right, for sure. If you guys like that shot, subscribe right now to cricket.com. And of course, let us know your predictions in the comments below. Who you guys are backing, who you guys want to see fire this tournament, any unknown names, or anything you guys want us to talk about. We're here and we're willing to, of course, shed light on it. So the first 50 partnership in WPL history, it is, of course, Haley Matthews and Nat Siver. And another misfield. We've seen a couple of errors in the field. Now, what we saw, remember that tournament in the 100, the women's side of thing, the thing which caught my eye, boys, was the fielding, the athleticism that we've seen develop in the women's game. Do you think that's something we'll be privy to watch in the WPL next, Gurkina?
Yeah, I think it will keep growing with every season because your processes will get better. Which is why all such things are going to be important, and we'll go back to this point again and again that you need such systems in place so that when you're training with Alice Perry, when you're training with something like a Sophie, that's the wicket.
Hold on, wicket. And again, it's a spinner, and this time it's the Australian spinner who actually took the catch to dismiss Lastika Bhatia. She gets the wicket right now and the catch. 1 for 13 in her 1.5 and 69 for 2 more importantly. Nat Siver goes for 23, and it's a perfect time almost for Harman to walk in.
Yeah, and I think Nat Siver was kind of not getting the
Middling
timing,
it,
right. So I think she was trying to hit ball hard. But
and
then
good
she
catch from
didn't.
Sneha, no?
Yeah.
Mid-off was up.
And perfect time was Harman to walk in, and hopefully more fireworks from both ends. Helen Matthews and Harmanpreet Kaur.
More fire from both the ends. Now Harman's donning the number 7 in a Mumbai shirt. Who's done the MI7 before for the men's?
I don't think MI have had number 7 for men.
Is that respecting Kala Dhoni?
Not sure on that. I think.
Yeah, you can have Shardul wearing 10, but not anybody wearing 7.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting.
Yeah, but Shardul wearing 10 is understandable. He's
Of
Lord.
course.
He's
Same
Lord.
initials as well. What more do you need?
No.
Yeah.
You know the story
How is Shardul Thakur named Lord? I want to know.
So I know some part of it. So there was a game going on. It was a domestic game in Mumbai. It was going on. So I think they Shardul was a strike and they needed some 1 or 2 runs or something like that. So he was told not to hit in the air. Okay, just rotate the strike and we will be through the game. But then he actually throw his bat, and he actually fired the shot in the air. And luckily, the fielder dropped the cage. So he was asked, why did you do that? We asked you not to do that. He's like, अरे sir, मेरे को पता था वो cage छोड़ेगा. So that's why he has been named Lord after that. कि इसको पहले से ही सब पता था.
Look, I didn't know that, dude. Like, if he actually has those powers that lords have normally, I just thought that it was maybe a funny thing thrown around in the Indian dressing room.
No, but it started I think mainly on Twitter because
because he just had the ability to break partnerships, use India's golden arm and all that.
No, but it started as a troll name because he used to bowl the kind of stuff where he would get hit for a lot of runs, and when no one expected him to pick up wickets on the kind of lengths that he bowls, he started picking up wickets. So it started more as a joke, but now I think it's gone too mainstream. But yeah. Yeah, but coming on the numbers thing, like, how like, are you guys a believer of having a specific number? Like, if tomorrow I was to play for, if I was to play for any team tomorrow, any sport, if they'll ask me what number you would want, I'd say, yaar, jo bacha hai de do, koi farak nahi padta. Like, I'm that kind of a person. I really don't believe in such stuff, but I want to know what you guys think about this.
It depends for me. I think I'll always go for 21. It's just a lucky number for me, so I'll just go for 21. Next,
I thought your lucky number might be 49.
I'm laughing so much and falling off the chair. Lol. No, but next, honestly, jokes apart, do you have a lucky number?
There might be a forced lucky number, which is very constantly 7. But as Gurkira said, if I was to play, I don't mind playing for any number. The playing is far more important than what's at the back of my side.
Okay. You?
I think even I do not have any such number in specific. Even I always think if I get to play, what number will I choose? So there's no number as such in specific. But yeah, obviously would like to see which is beneficial and we'll take that.
I think definitely players in the modern day and age, and even in the yesteryears, they would have had a certain liking for a number. I remember Dravid was 5 and then he moved on to 19, but Tendulkar was always kind of adamant on 10. He had his phase where he had 99. Certain players might have not cared. I think
Yeah.
Sehwag.
Ganguly changed a lot of numbers. Ganguly changed a lot of numbers.
Yeah, Ganguly
And
changed.
99, 45.
just suggested that no number is good for you. So he went without any numbers on
Yeah.
the team. So he sees a lot of numbers. So I think some players have it already in their mind why they want to choose this because of birth date or whatever. But some players has a story behind it.
Yeah.
Like for Rohit Sharma, I think
For-
his mother just told that ye number le lo
Yeah,
for
yeah.
and then he just took it from
Correct.
there. So
And then, of course, players change it as in which they like. I mean, we've seen it with Murli, we've seen it with Gale, with 333.
even
We've seen it with
Hardik has changed a lot.
Hardik has changed it as well, which is like interesting. And obviously, in other sports, it varies from position more. So I think you'll never see a defender in football wear a number 9 or a 10. You'll always see them wear at least 4 or 5 or 6.
Oh, short.
Oh, sure.
Short.
By the way.
But
Yeah, Ashley Gardner bowling a second over. Let's just come back to the game. There, 75 for 2. And our former captain on screen, who's, of course, with the Gujarat Giants, I'm talking about Mitali Raj. I mean, would have been fascinating to see her play, but wasn't to be. 75 for 2, 9.2. What are your predictions? I know we're reaching the halfway mark, and Mumbai have a solid team packed with all rounders. Do you guys think they can get up to 180? And if they do, they need to go pretty hard from now.
Harman. I think they have a solid base you can see.
Yeah.
I think 10 overs and then 75 run is a good platform and then you can build upon it. You have Amanjot Kaur, you have Pooja Vastakar, you have Harmanpreet, you have enough to go.
Yeah.
So they have enough firepower. They can take their chances as and when they see it. So I think they can definitely reach up to with Haley Matthews, looking in a stabilized form.
Yeah. Gurkira, do you agree with Vaishali? Do you think Mumbai can actually make it 180 from here?
I mean, no reason why they can't because they look set to be around 90 for 2 at the end of 10 over mark, and they do have some batting to come if I'm not wrong.
But
Uh,
if you're in that Gujarat dugout right now, who's scaring you the most? Harman, Haley out there who's looking good? Or do you think someone like Pooja and Amelia waiting in the hut?
No, I think this pair will probably definitely be the most scary pair. If Harman is 15 or 15, even at the if she takes her time with Haley Matthews going big anyway. So say if at the end of 12 over mark or at the end of the 13th over mark, Mumbai are 115 for 2.
Oh, Bowl. I feel Subodh Chavan has put the mockers on Haley Matthews because he went on to say century coming, guys. He's jinxed it. Subodh, we don't like you. Just joking, Subodh. Hope you're having a nice evening. 77 for 3. So Haley Matthews departs 47 for 1. And all the wickets has fallen to spin. Are we seeing something, guys? Next.
Ashley Garden has done watching.
Meant to do. Yeah, 2 for her. Next, you had any team on betting.
Of course, vice captain. Sorry,
Who's the captain?
I went with Natali because I expected pace to dominate more, which I still think can happen in the second innings. Regarding this game, this innings, I think they'll get to 166, 167 because there is decent bowling to follow. They have enough players who can, they're like Gardner, they can still come in at key intervals and again look to strike. So, in that sense, there are players who will take their time to begin. I think, which is why Haley was very critical because she could keep going every ball, which may not be the case with whoever just comes in and they'll take at least a few balls to get in. So, and you also have Sneh Rana coming in. So, I think pick a score 165 maybe. I'll stick to 165.
Amelia Kerr has come out to bat right now. Subodh, of course, saying jinxed it. Sorry, he leaves fine. More than happens for the best of us. Don't worry about that. Subodh Chavan, good man. Also, inside. How are you? Chichan, tell us the scores, please, because I'm fascinated. I know I'm a
Oh,
phone
Snare
fan.
is in
Yeah.
the action, guys.
Hey, Rana, so Harman please he gets the tickets outside edge to
And
go
it's
for
for
four.
four.
Have you been surprised so far, Gurkirat, with Sneh Rana being introduced in the 10th over? We've seen Spin already take up 3 wickets. Are you kind of scratching your head why she wasn't introduced earlier, or is it fine? Nothing to worry
No,
about.
but they have enough spin bowling options anyway, isn't it?
True. She
So
has
they
just four.
probably, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be extremely one dimensional in terms of your bowling attack, so uh, probably that might have been the reason.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not one dimensional in terms of what they've offered so far with the
Sure, yeah.
ball. And
Sure.
Arman's pierced that beautifully, almost
Yeah.
like a surgeon, absolute
I,
precision.
I'm just surprised that Harmanpreet has actually opened up the offside quite early in her innings. Usually,
Yeah.
you just see her going leg side. You know, it's
Just
sometimes she
what
really. Sometimes I think she comes with a decision from the dressing room that even if the ball is outside the white line on the offside, I just want to go leg side. Sometimes
Yeah.
she bats with that kind of a mindset, but good to see her open up the offside quite early on in her innings.
No, absolutely. So both good to
Dare
see
I,
you first pick your team. Nick, sorry, go on.
dare I say, I think we might see the best of Harmanpreet Kaur in this edition of the WPL because
Fingers crossed.
I feel she's of the same mold again, a number seven that thinks what is to follow when they play for the national side.
Yeah.
But now that she's playing in a franchise where she has the likes of Amelia Kerr, Haley Matthews, Natalie Skipper, enough experience around her, so I feel she can just play what she how she wants to, not worry about getting out. And I think that's when Harman plays the best cricket. It doesn't have to be boundary every ball. It's just confident, aggressive cricket taking on the bowling. And yes, hopefully that happens.
Yeah, and hopefully she actually looks at it from a perspective that she doesn't have to worry about her game because all the batters around her have so
Yeah,
much firepower to offer. So it's quite
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, she
Just
can play freely without
play
any,
freely, absolutely.
without thinking that you
I
can't
just,
give it.
I just, sorry, Vaishali, I just want to go back to what Gurkirat said about variety of attacks. I think we'll see that across the five teams. You're seeing Gujarat today. I know they've had two off spinners, one in Snehrana and one in Ashley Gardner, but Mansi Joshi right arm pace, Monica Patel left arm pace. Then you have, of course, Wareham the leg spinner. So will we get to see all five teams have a variety in their attacks?
If you have it.
If they have it, I mean, look at the
Yeah, I think
squads.
they'll try. I
Yeah,
think they'll try to begin with that option that let's try and have as much variety. But see, it's something that they will also learn that how are these bowling units performing as a unit. So
yeah.
are they complementing each other? Do we need to change the positions of some of them? So it is something they'll try, and which is where proactive, experienced batters will be critical at the crease because they will be able to find out that okay, this is the moment they are trying something else. Let's make the most of it. Let's get a few runs out of this over. So again, now when you get to this side of things, you kind of understand that why somebody is being held back, somebody is being pushed forward, and there will be enough matchups to come along as well. So that will also be very fun to watch because it's you don't often see off spinners bowling so much in men's cricket, but
Yeah.
that's not the case in women's cricket. You so also see them bowling in the end overs. So they are different kinds of worlds in their own. So yeah, I think that should make it very exciting to watch.
Yeah, and off spinners. I mean, we talk about off spinners. The Women's Premier League opened off with an off spinner with Ashley Gardner. So that's 87. There's definitely some dogs from Gurkirat's side, or definitely something else going on over there. What's for dinner?
You are giving me
I'm
breakfast.
very hungry. Sorry, I'm just staring at my phone. I know it's rude. Next,
All are yours.
has there been dinner served at your household? What's for dinner, if I may ask?
Thankfully, since like last 11 years, the dinners are served as per innings breaks. So that's when it will come, and I'll know then. But yeah, I think for now my tummy is full with the cricket and the possibility of this. It's just a very good sleep. I know a lot of people across this nation, across the world, will sleep very happily that it is come. Again, few people may think that we're exaggerating, but those who've been in this side of things, been in this field for enough time, they know how much has gone behind this coming off. So really chuffed, and yeah, let's just enjoy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Chal, Two attempts he finally got that sweep.
Got that sweep. Rohan Park was
Avnish,
performance.
Avnish,
Yeah.
just want to ask you, uh, would you would you would you really want Virat to learn a sweep or two from Harmanpreet?
Yo, बाप होता है भाई. You got to, of course, give Virat his credit. Look, I wish he used to play that sweep like how he played in Adelaide, bro. I don't know what's
Short.
happened to him.
That's the only time he's actually played the sweep.
Like, look at this shot also from Harman. Virat just doesn't have the mindset anymore. It's like, it's almost like you said in one of your tweets last week, where you were like, it's his ego. And that's the problem with the man. I think he has all the shots in the game, but he's just so preoccupied by dominating the game with his go to shots now. I don't know why he doesn't have the sweep in his armory. But yeah, he should learn from Harman. I mean, I was cracking a joke there, but yeah, for sure. She's got again, third sweep in a bloody literally mad. So 99 for three, and how many overs got? 11.5.
Eight overs left after this one.
Yeah, so how do you see that?
170 is definitely on.
It's definitely on, right? You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be 180 if Harman bats till the end.
Man, it'll
Yeah.
be insane if there's a super over start to WPL. Maza aa jayega.
Wow. That would take some chase. That would take some chase, but yeah,
Yeah,
should be fun.
We are. Oh,
Oh,
pulled away
shot.
for four.
Ah,
You can't go rubbish. That was, sorry, rubbish from Wareham. And she's been expensive in her 3 overs, not 1 for 30, but Mumbai Indians will take that 103 for 3. Are there two strategic timeouts even in the women's
Yeah.
IPL?
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Things replicated, right? Literally
sponsors
from
matter.
no, even in the all these cheeky things that we see on the Megatron screen, all of those
Yeah.
things also will be similar.
Yeah, it is. We saw one long distance
Long distance travel
when
with
Haley Matthews.
Haley Matthews. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
get some early predictions because my producers texted me saying, let's get some fun right now in terms of predictions for most runs in the WPL. Random shots in the dark. Obviously, we can't really predict, but we can all have our say. We'll have the most.
Can we predict top three?
Yeah, you can predict top three, no problem.
I think Harmanpreet.
As diplomatic as it can get.
I was going to say that, but I'll let you say it this time next. Thanks.
What, Nikhil? Like, you want players to do well, right?
Yeah, but you can't then tell I'll give you 11 of batters, I'll give you 11 of bowlers, I'll give you 11 of top fielders.
It can be any.
Well done, Nikhil. So top three.
So I think it will be Harman,
Okay.
Kiran Navgiri,
Okay.
and Kohli.
Okay. Good to see that. Good selections. Next.
Pretty clear. Harmanpreet Kaur top batter, Dipti Sharma top bowler.
Okay. I agree with the bowler. My batter is slightly different. You guys know.
Okay. I know, of course. It's not from Bangalore.
Smriti. Actually, my leading wicket taker is Renuka Singh. I have her.
So you say no from RCB, you only have to pick.
I know Gurkirat's probably going to go with Jemima Shefali with the Delhi hat on, but he won't.
No. I think. See, from an Indian cricket perspective, I really hope that Shefali is able to work on her short ball issue. For me, her amount of runs probably won't matter as much as her growth in probably temperament and the shot selection, because
Sorry,
I
that was a good shot.
because like we were discussing, once on my show when I had Nikhil and Shweta, both of them had the opinion that her growth probably after in the last 1.5 years since that England series in 2021 hasn't happened at the pace at which everyone would have liked, because yes, she's a talent, she's a very rare talent who debuted and came onto the scene very early when she was still raw. But now I think that she's played enough to understand that what her shortcomings are and how she can work on it. So from that front, I just want Shefali to work on her game awareness and her technical shortcomings. But yeah, I agree with Nikhil. I think Harman's going to have a good tournament. And the other player that I want to see do well in this tournament is Richa Ghosh. I really want to see how she comes along. On the bowling front, yeah, I think Dipti will have a good tournament, but very interested to see how Sneh Rana goes, because I do feel that she should be in the 11, regardless of who the other 10 players are. But maybe because India feel that she provides a similar bowling option as Deepti, and they want variety, wherein they go for actually a left arm spinner in Ajishri Gaikwad, or sometimes they even go for Radha Yadav. So I believe that reasons, that is one of the reasons why she doesn't make it to a spot. So want to see Sneh Rana have a good tournament.
Okay. What about the international scheme of things? Which foreign player will light it up, do you think?
I think that movie,
Best movie?
yeah, that movie. I think it's very interesting to see without the captaincy experience, like she was able to do well.
Do you
Like
think
she,
she'll take well to captaincy?
that's a very interesting thing to see. That's what how I started. Right, she doesn't have much of the captaincy experience. Never captained any side, so good to see. But I think they might not favor the captaincy, but Sneh Rana has a major part to play here because she's named the vice captain and she knows these guys more than anyone. Sneh Rana being part of Railways. Sneh Rana is captain Railways also for some point of time, and now they have like 3 or 4 players from Railways.
Yeah.
So her input will count a lot. And it's like railway and Australia captain. The way I was saying, railway and Australia player, railway and Australia captain. So they have to work in conjunction to see how it goes. But Beth movie, I think, can have a good Diwali.
Nikhil, before I ask you who your international selection is for this year's tournament, please, just want to ask you: is there an orange cap, purple cap
No.
sort of thing for this WPL?
I haven't heard of it as of now, but would be surprised if it comes through.
Yeah.
But yeah, and to get to the overseas picks, I think Natalie will definitely be one of the top three. She's been in great touch ever since she's picked up a bat. I feel she's one of the best batters going around. And in terms of wickets, I think it's going to be very tricky to look beyond Megan Shoot if she's used well, because she's someone who bowls in the key spots in the power play and also in the end overs. So uh, you could always go with Gardner, but I feel maybe Megan Shoot might just pip because she has an extra pace also to bother. Shabnam Ismail is a great option to take, but then it depends on the usage because I think they will need Grace Harris and
Yeah.
Tyler maybe in a few games. So that balance is something I'm looking forward to see with UK.
Then there can be a condition where they actually not able to use the smile considering the
Yeah,
overload that they have. So
yeah,
that is very much possible depending on who she gets.
And that's the big call, right, for franchise
Yeah,
stakeholders to make in terms of how do you shoehorn in all these kind of fantastic talents that you have with this board. Like Gujarat on the bench, they have some amazing talent.
yeah, I was very surprised. Like that's what I told in the initial thing to you that they are not playing Ashwini Kumari. I
Correct.
think they'll realize it, and the next game she should be in. Uh, for those of you who do not know, the Ashwini plays for Jharkhand. She is a hard hitter of the ball, can play at any number, plus the medium pace option as well. So which is a very rare breed. And
All the way
again,
for four.
a good shot for okay.
Brilliant shot, yeah. Brilliant shot. Sorry, I'm just looking at some matchups right now in terms of all the cricket.com data. I've got a hard copy of it, but if, of course, you guys want to check it out, check out the cricket.com app. Now, we went for the probable playing combination for Gujarat to be Beth Mooney, and this is how the batting order will look. Sabine Meghna, or not to forget, Dawson, who's been ruled out. So, Ash Gardner will probably be there. Harleen Deol is there. Who else could they, of course, go in with? Sophia
Sophia
Dunkley
Dunkley should be
be there as well.
she is not she is doing good.
She is in the
yeah. I
playing
think
11.
it's also in accordance with the question that we had that do you think all overseas picks are the strongest or could have
No,
been better?
in the
Array,
base.
that's
Mm.
another
Again,
out
misfield,
straight. Yeah,
and it's
off
Mansi
gives.
as well.
Yeah, I think the problem is we see the same problem in the men's IPL as well. When it's just an overseas batter, the temptation is always going to be picking the all-rounder
Yeah.
because you just have a lot more on the option. I mean, I can't imagine a WPL without Laura Boulevard being part of it in terms of a top order bat, but it is how it is. And you see that in the men's IPL as well, that there are so many good openers for their franchise and club side that don't always get in.
Yeah.
A, because you have those alternatives, they may not be as good or bad, but it's the role that they play. And you'd always want an overseas all-rounder over an overseas batter, unless that batter is, say, as good as a Beth Mooney, that you can completely be happy that okay, I'm fine with them also being the captain. So those are, I think, some of the picks. And once the league also expands, we'll see more the pool increasing for both Indian and overseas options.
Okay.
There are many people also international Nora or Nora Walker and also even very well at it. But I would just like to also Nora Walker, she's a class player, no doubt. But what he is demanding right now, even if you see that final match that was played between Australia and South Africa,
Yeah.
I think in power play they were not able to score runs. I think the power play itself, the Australia was South Africa wasn't the best team. They were not able to accelerate after it. So although Nora Walker going on to scoring 50 or so, but I think the strike rate, which was the need of that particular hour, she wasn't able to do that. She's a class player, but then I think keeping up with that was something missing. So yeah, and obviously many international, even uncapped and capped players have gone unsold. Hopefully, more teams in future and more talent we see. But yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. But I'm just sorry looking at the app again because look at these partnerships so far. They've just been so nonchalantly going about their business. 31 of 17 from Harmanpreet, Amelia Care 19 of 10, and so far the partnership's about 40.
I think like we
We'll take Subodh Chauhan's question as well. There was another question coming through earlier from Rohan Patel. So we'll just hang on. Shorak, if you can reflect Rohan's question, which came up earlier, because I'd like to pose that to Gurpreet up the Knicks, and of course, Vaishali can answer. 128 to
sure.
3 now. Monica bowling that one over, and she conceded 13, and she's bowled the first ball of the second over and next over 4. So this is the question that Rohan Patel poses, Gurpreet. Do you think all overseas players picked are the strongest, or that they might have been better?
Yeah, I personally don't think that I can answer this question, because like I keep saying, I don't know as much about women's cricket. And see, but what from experience, from my experience of following the men's IPL closely is concerned, I don't think it is always the strongest and the best players from the overseas pool which get picked up, even from the domestic pool in the auction, because a lot of the picks in the auction happen, sometimes on reputation,
Yeah.
and sometimes on recency bias, and sometimes also on how a player is fitting into the squad, right? And it's been a feature of the men's IPL auction almost every year. There are some notable players who get missed out purely because of these factors, and sometimes there's also a bias. Like in the men's IPL, what I've seen from before is that there's an
Oh,
evident.
sorry.
As it
That
gets
was a
today.
that was the best
Yeah,
best shot so far.
as it
Yeah.
gets.
So as I was saying, in the men's IPL, what I've seen is that there's been an evident bias of buying players, who come from Australia. But I suppose that now that bias is going to change after the introduction of SA20, because you have, I mean, all six teams who are in the IPL having a team in SA20. So I don't think it is possible to always have the best and the strongest players from the overseas pool get picked up, and I'm sure that might be the case in this women's WPL auction as well. Maybe Nikhil can point out to the notable exclusions. He mentioned about Laura Wolverdart, and I suppose even Vishali will have a few names. I am not that great on those names front, still learning like many of you are. So you guys will have to bear with me on that front.
No, but I really appreciate your honesty and good points that you mentioned there in terms of drawing comparisons with the men's as well. The fact that you great shot, by the way.
Setting it up on
I
fire.
feel really bad for Monica because she's kind of, I mean, she had that chance to get Nat Silva out, but right now her figures don't reflect how decently she's gone about it, but she's conceded too many boundaries.
But
Maybe
then Harman has come with a different mood
with a
today, and this
different
is how we
mood.
want Harman to, always play.
This is
Yeah.
beast mode, Harman.
Yeah.
Next, going on to just add to that conversation, how do teams pick these days? Is it recency bias, like Gurkirat said? Is it because they want to kind of have that perfect subtleties in every team?
Oh
Like,
my!
oh my God,
I'm sorry. Let's take
such
a
a
few seconds.
let's just
I mean,
repeat.
Yeah, just sit
I mean,
down and
I
appreciate.
just I just tweeted that Harmanpreet has renewed her driving license today. It is impeccable. I mean, just look at that,
Dude, that is. I said shorter than
as
easy
This
good
to
as
is
go.
it
this
can
is
get.
okay. I just
This is
opened
brilliant.
up the wagon wheel on the app for Harman.
Can't hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think my net went away. I have just opened up
yeah.
the wagon wheel on the cricket.com app, and
Oh
it's very rare that
no!
you'll see Harman.
What a shot! Oh my god, this is brilliant. I mean,
Incredible
I
batting.
think it's
yo,
very I think it's very rare. It's very rare for Harman to have more runs scored through the offside than the leg side. He has 25 runs being scored through the offside right now. You usually, if she's batted 40, if she scored 47 runs, you usually say, okay, maybe she scored about 30 runs on the leg side, square of the wicket, and the remaining 17 runs through the offside. But her scoring 25 runs through the offside and 22 through the leg side is something that you rarely associate with her.
absolutely. She's been like a beast so far, like Vishali called her. And even in that over, I think the word which was coming out of my mouth is, of course, depicted by Subodh in the comments saying toying with the opposition. She really took Monica to the cleaners there and brilliant execution of the cover drives, not just through wide mid off, but even through extra cover and even some past backward point behind. So right now, 48 of 21. I mean, 47 of 21. That's
200 plus.
brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, this is what we wanted to do for India, but look, this is what the WPL will do. It'll probably bring out the best of the talents that we've seen. Now, Gardner to continue. And again,
And that's
dude,
the
this is
first 50
ridiculous.
of WPL by Harmanpreet Kaur.
Harmanpreet has lit it up.
And
22 ball 50. That's gone for four. Surely it's gone for four.
yeah, it is right.
She's not yet celebrating, but I think it's inevitable.
It's gone for four, if
it's-
I'm not wrong.
Maybe she couldn't see it, but it's
Yes.
definitely gone for four.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
First
guys.
WPL for you guys. It's Harmanpreet Kaur.
Guys,
Sushant
is
Singh,
it
Batman, stop this assault on the Giants.
is it too soon? Is it too soon to say that Harmanpreet could do something that McCullum did on that night in
Too
2008?
soon because Subodh jinxed it with Haley.
Yeah.
Do not jinx it now. And Somesh, good to see you in the
I think we
comments.
called early in the show, right?
Yeah, for sure. We called it.
I don't believe in jinxes.
Okay.
We will get a 72 or a 10. That's for sure.
So okay. If someone says that I'm jinxing, okay, or there is something like a jinx exists, then I suppose I have to stop saying get well soon to anyone who's sick or who's not well. By that logic.
Do not bring logic in cricket. It doesn't work.
Yeah, only cricket. Only cricket. Honestly.
31.
So, but
Forget the past
I have
enjoy today's.
a good feeling that one could do what McCullum did.
Oh my god.
Just sit like this all day and just
Dude, this is honestly like she's saying you can just sit here all day just looking in awe of Harman. She's played some magical drives, but even the subtlety in sweeps, the power strokes, we've seen the whole array of shots from
and
Harman.
this is without power. Imagine
Exactly.
if she clears the boundary also. This is all like we can see she's showing just opening up
Touch
the
and
face.
class.
Yeah,
Absolute
elegance.
touch and class.
I
So
will
one
show
second.
us one firepower as well.
One sec, 154 for three guys and girl. How much do you think they're going to get? Oh, there's more runs.
again.
She's cut it away for four. Dude, this is ridiculous.
Wow!
If
Harman!
anyone has not watched a batting masterclass in T20s, tune in right now.
It's so good to see actually Garden
No,
like that.
that is brilliant. That is honestly brilliant.
It is
Amazing. There are no
so
words.
pleasing, no? That
So pleasing to
we've
the
I
all
mean, short is getting better, guys.
you can just sit this पूरे दिन उसको निहार सकते हो.
Yeah.
It's the she's playing that those shots.
It's crazy. Ash Gardner's thinking, what the hell's going on? Harmanpreet, her last 7 boundaries. I mean, 7 balls have been boundaries. And this is her first dot. Can you believe that? I don't think any men has set a target, I mean, a record like that in the IPL, right?
Yeah.
Any man. I said any man. Any man. Indian men's top order should learn from Harman how to sweep. Yeah, absolutely. I think Kukia just said that about Virat learning how to sweep. So, look. Oh, she's got 4 balls!
oh,
Nearly. We're all kind of channelizing our Indian fans right now with seeing the Indian captain go berserk. 26 balls, 60. It's almost like she's playing a different game altogether. And it's a timeout. I think Gujarat Giants need that. And it's a
Yeah.
perfect time to ask Nick, Gurkirat, and Vaishali right now. 159 for 3. What's your prediction? Final score. I want a number and we'll see who's close.
So 4 overs left, and I think at least 30 runs they should make.
Okay.
So it's 160, 170. So I think around 190.
So give me an exact score.
192.
192 is what Vaishali is going with. Nick,
202.
202. I like the confidence. Gurkirat?
205.
Sorry?
205.
205.
Yeah.
205.
What's yours?
I will go for exactly 40 runs from here. So 199, 200 for the Gujarat Giants to win.
Okay.
So
Let's
199. I mean, I would love it if Pooja Vasakar would come out and tonk a few sixes as well.
see. But I hope she doesn't need to come only.
I mean, Amelia Kerr, I don't
Yeah.
really care
I
about her.
think Amelia Kerr should go now.
Exactly.
Should just I mean, should
Oh,
take the
like,
risk.
okay, like that.
I mean to say
Not yet.
the boundaries. She just go because there's no risk, right? She can just go and hit freely. So
Oh,
even if
absolutely.
she gets out, you know,
For sure. Somesh, good to see you as well. 201. And say hello to auntie and uncle who must have arrived at your house. We'll probably be seeing Somesh in the women's watch along very soon, and the other boys as well. But Saturday, all the big boys get the rest. It's all the hard workers and the donkeys. No, I was just joking. Just absolutely joking. Right now, 159 for 3. So far, Harman's knock has been captivating. What else has caught your eye so far in the 16 overs? Is it
I
been
think
Haley
the-
Matthews?
the way Haley Matthews started and
Yeah.
the way Harman has actually, just continued it
Yeah.
without even thinking about anything else.
Do you agree with Somesh?
This is
Vaishali?
peak Virat plus peak Sachin or Shiv. I think why are we comparing? Just let it be
Oh,
like
let
that,
it be.
right? Why are you?
So, if you haven't known this girl, she's Miss Diplomatic. You cannot kind of get even invoke an emotion out of her. She's as tough as a cookie. By the way, all you 23 people watching, do subscribe Saturday night, show us some love. And of course, we can all shake a leg if we get our predictions right. 192, Nick's going with 202, Gurkita 205. I'm 199, and Somesh is going for 201. Even though Somesh is not visible, he's visible in the comments below. What about the commentary lineup? I think cricket.com put a post earlier about Akash Chopra, there's Anjum Chopra, there's of course
Reema Malhotra.
Katie Cross who's not playing, Reema Malhotra. I know the big dogs in terms of Ravi Shastri and Harsha Bhogde is right now. Anyone else you'd want to see in that commentary box to light it up? Nick's Gurkirat?
I think Venkatesh and Akash are bound to have a conversation.
Our old
So-
friend Veda Krishnamurthy, CDC representative.
Yeah, and I'm sure that will be taped. So
Yeah.
that
I mean, when you just think about the IPL chaps, you think about Pommy and Bangwa and Ian Bishop screaming in the mic and going mad. I need some, good energy in the commentary
Yeah.
box. Gurkirat,
you have us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually
know,
watch.
I wouldn't mind having Danny Morrison, but I think at present he's commentating in Pakistan in the PSL. But yeah,
Yeah.
Danny Morrison is someone who who's still I have fond memories of. He the way he used to make the acronyms. It's the double D's versus the double R's today.
The double D's is not going to go. He can lie all his life that nobody wants to remember DD, but that's what is going to come to him.
For sure. I mean, Gurkirat, do you agree with Suchant? There is a Venki v Chopra legend battle in the combo.
I actually don't want to say anything on this.
That's why I asked you the question.
Hashtag being Vaishali.
I think they can just come on their YouTube live show and do it.
I've said what I wanted to say on my Twitter already. People did not agree, so let's not drift. But yeah, I mean,
Of course, okay. But yeah, do of course follow Gurkirat, Nix, and Vaishali on their individual social media handles. Vaishali is starting to do 1 minute previews. I saw that. By the way.
and you can follow Avnish for great BTS content.
Yes.
BTS is what my expertise is in.
Shot.
Oh, yes, down the track for 4. That's brilliant.
Wow.
That is honestly brilliant. I mean, using her feet, just dancing down so brilliantly. I dare say anything. Let's just watch.
Yeah, let's
This
just watch
class.
and just applause. The
Harmanpreet should have gone for more money in the auction than Mandana. Skill-wise, she's far ahead.
Yeah, I think I won't compare it only with Smriti, like not just that, but I think Harmanpreet with the skills she has, it was a steel deal for Mumbai Indians, to be honest.
Absolutely.
So it's not only about comparing with Smriti, but I think yeah, it was a steel deal.
Oh,
Oh,
and
sure.
that's the one she's actually applied the most power on this evening, and it didn't find the gap. But dude, she's looking on fire. This partnership, by the way, talk about fire. It's almost melting our TV screens.
Yeah.
42 balls, 88. Quite ridiculous.
I think Harmanpreet has given enough poses to be the
Oh,
pose,
100%.
the
100%.
short pose of this logo.
Oh,
Wide.
is that a
It
wide?
should be a wide.
Should be a wide. It is
Yeah.
a wide. Also, I hope the umpires get their due course in the tournament as well, because IPLs have also not just made players famous, but umpires as well, off the field sometimes. If you guys know, you know. Not mentioning Asad Rauf's name here, but okay, I just said it. But
Nice.
just a little subtle joke. Smail
Yeah,
on
but
the final ball. Oh, Harman, no! Gone. Indian counterpart, getting Indian counterpart. And they're going to check with the
But
front
what a
foot.
knock, Harman! You
Brilliant
have just
knock.
picked it up.
But too good. Too good. Take a bow. Thank you so much.
Absolute brilliant.
65 runs of 30 balls, more than 200 plus strike rate, and what shots! Like it was just pleasing to eye. We could have, like, we can see those shots all over our life. What a shots!
I
On
just want to
display.
understand something. In the history of the men's IPL, has there ever been a batter to hit 7 consecutive boundaries? I repeat, 7 consecutive boundaries. Harmanpreet has just done that in her 30 balls, 65. Or we can probably get the stats man Anirudh to answer that for us if he
I think
can
I
tell
think
us.
Gale did. I think Gale did in that one over where he scored 37 runs. Six boundaries have happened in the IPL.
Consecutive balls.
Yeah.
Prithvi Shaw also has against
And
Shivam Mavi.
Rahane has.
Shivam Mavi.
Rahane has
Ajinkya
6.
Rahane and Prithvi Shaw
Pretty sure.
have hit six scores in a row. But I think when Gale scored those that when he had that 37 run over with the luxury of a no ball, I think it was Bangalore versus Kochi Tuskers. Might have been 2011. Uh, I think at that point of time he did hit seven boundaries, four sixes and three fours.
I think
Uh,
Raina also did that once, maybe. Maybe Anirudh can confirm. I think Raina did it possibly versus Punjab.
Ravindra Jadeja versus Harshal Patel over for 37 runs.
So that also was 7 balls, guys. I mean, I can recollect 6, but 7 is quite ridiculous. But anyway, Harmanpreet, brilliant, 65 of 30.
Oh, yeah.
Care, by the way, has gone for it again, and it's great to see that it's going to be a high-scoring game, guys. Because look, those 2 games we saw in that India-Australia series here had all scores of 170 plus. We've already got 170. There's more to come. Even our predictions are kind of being blown out of the water right now by the things looking out there in the
yeah,
middle.
Gale did score seven boundaries. I
7
just
boundaries.
checked. I
Of
just checked.
consecutive
Gale
balls.
did score seven boundaries.
Of consecutive balls.
Seven boundaries of Prasant Parmeswaran of
Yeah.
Kochi Tuskers,
Kochi
Kerala.
Tuskers.
Kerala.
Again,
This happened.
another guy who had orange jersey. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This makes
Uh,
for a great tweet.
Makes for a great tweet. Don't go against the color orange, Gurkirat. You know what happens to people.
Orange Army, Perth Scorchers, let's go.
Come on, let's go. Orange Army. Media finishes strong, saying Subodh Chavan. So we're obviously seeing all the fans come to the fore in the comments. Subodh Chavan, Prashant, obviously Mumbai Indian fans. I'm guessing there'll be others who'll be supporting UP. There'll be, of course, others supporting RCB, DC, etc. 174 for 4. It's also great to see Pooja Vaslikar out there as Mumbai Indians, maybe their designated finisher, so to speak. So let's see how she goes with the bat. She has obviously a curtail knock here, but let's see how that goes. Abracadabra, good to see you. Go Burgundy, go. Going on to say the magical chant in the comments. Hello, Abracadabra. Harmanpreet's innings reminds me of McCullum played in the very first match of IPL 2008. Yep, absolutely agree with you there. The fact that she just brought those shots out was quite.
Oh,
I thought that
wow.
she surprised herself eventually.
She's very underrated. I think Amela Care, she's very, very underrated for her age and the value that she brings to the lineup. We'll see that in the coming games, which I'm very confident of.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, like, not just individual talents, but even partnerships blossom, right? Because we talk about famous IPL partnerships generally in the history. You look at Kohli de Villiers, you look at Dhoni, Bravo, you look at, I'm saying, like, how an Indian and a foreigner has come together so beautifully because of the IPL, like
Yeah,
Gale and Kohli,
it
Kohli de
is.
Villiers, Rohit and Pollard, Pollard and Hardik
Quinton
Pandya.
de Kock, Rohit and Quinton de Kock.
Rohit and Quinton. I mean, there's so many great kind of pairs. So I'm hoping that happens with the women's kind of things as well.
Yeah. And I think even before the WPL, the camaraderie between the girls across the nation was like a was there, was
Yeah.
always there. We have seen a lot of videos behind the scene after the World Cup, during the World Cup, or during the series. So I think hopefully now they get time to spend with each other,
Yeah.
and I think it's the right
But
time
do you
to
think
bring it.
language will be a problem? Because Beth Mooney accepted at the top saying, sometimes I speak too fast for the girls in the dressing room.
Yeah, but I think they'll get a
They get along.
yeah, in some time. Obviously, if you've not heard the accent, it's difficult to pick the accent. But I
Yeah,
think cricket is the mediator between
for
those
sure. So
guys.
you were going to say something?
That comment we can
Let's
bring it
take the
back.
comments, of course. Vaishali wants to answer the fans.
No, I think the captain comment. It was a nice this thing to see that three captain of Australia.
Ah, correct. Yeah, which is a good point because
Yeah,
look, normally in the IPL we see Indian captains more often than not. In this Women's Premier League, there are three
yeah.
captains of a foreign nature. That is Gujarat, not to forget
Delhi Capitals
UP
and
and
Delhi Capital.
Delhi.
So yeah, I
Um,
think I would just like to add or answer that comment. I think there are two ways to look at it.
yeah,
First, that you will be learning from someone like
yeah.
Meg Lanning. So Meg Lanning, I was expecting that she should captain, but then giving the captaincy to Beth Mooney, who hasn't captained before, or Elisa Helly, that was a shocking decision for me, to be honest. Meg Lanning was expected because you want to have her as a leader, because you want others to learn from her. But then giving captaincy to someone like Beth Mooney, who hasn't had any records for you to rely on, or why are you backing her, right?
But who else is a potential leader
Sneh,
to captain?
yeah, she is a vice captain. She has done captaincy in a domestic circuit in railways, and there were other options as well. Like for UP, we had Deepti Sharma, Alisa giving it to Elisa Helly, and that's when even I wasn't very happy. You always, or someone like some. It's not only Australia. There were leaders from other sides as well, right? Who you could have given it to them. So I think you would want to use this option, wherein if someone is having a great experience, you would want to learn from them and
Hmm.
do this. But then just because for the sake of giving it to someone, and I was kind of not happy with it,
Yeah, I
to be
mean, this is
honest.
the comment she was talking about, and we'll just come back to that. Meanwhile, Pooja Vastrika has just smashed
Shocker.
that down the ground, and there was no chance for Ash Gardner, who tried to get a hand on it, but it would have probably been taken away because it was hit at some force. So Mumbai getting past 180 right now, and I'll just want to hear from Nix and Gurkirat
Yeah.
about this point of view about captains and how franchisees should pick it. Do you agree with someone like an MI and an RCB where they've gone with Smriti and Harman? And how do you see the other franchisees picking it?
See, I think it is.
Uh,
Yeah, Gurukit, you can go.
I think with Smithy and Harman, it was the obvious choice, given both of them are the captains and vice captains of the Indian team. But I don't think there were obvious options with other franchises. And say if you take a case of Delhi
For sure.
Capitals, if you take the case of Delhi Capitals, you had Meg Lanning already, who's a proven captain for Australia with so much of experience, and Jemmy is still young. I'd say so. Probably teams in the first season wanted to go for safer options, uh, and we see some conservativeness in terms of decision making even in the men's IPL when there have been 15 years of
He's gone
sort of.
again. He's gone again. Sorry. Three over mid off. And I don't know if Beth Mooney just specifically chose to keep mid off for all those balls, but Pooja Vasika doing Pooja Vasika things. 192 for four. And it's good to see that all our predictions are well in contention. You said how much?
192.
Oh,
I
you said
said
192. Why were you being
they
so
achieved in 19 overs.
why were you being so pessimistic? They were 159 for four. But so Vaishali's prediction, unfortunately,
Diplomatic, not pessimistic.
Yeah,
Uh,
really good team, actually.
There was
Yeah.
nothing missing this round.
Nix has gone for 202. Good. Gurkira 205, of course, and me 199.
I
So
would like all
As Ravi Shastri would say, all three results are possible.
who's going to bowl the last over?
All four.
Mansi Joshi, Monica Patel, or do you think it'll be spin again? It's spin
Nothing
again. Rana, by the
How
looks
many?
of it. I mean, I can see it.
Oh yeah, it's done.
That's how you read the game. That's how you read the game.
That's how you see the
So,
game.
so we were discussing the captaincy option. So I was saying that even in the men's IPL, even after 15 years, we do see some conservativeness in the decision making. So given it's the first season where franchises are also just testing the waters in terms of
Oh,
understanding.
shot. And that's it. That's it. Sorry, guys.
Yes, is out.
That just reminds me, and I want to ask you this even earlier. Do you think the boundaries have been brought in slightly? Because even one of the comments earlier said that, in compared to the Australia India series, do you think they're slightly brought in?
I don't know about Australia India series, but generally the boundaries are in right or wrong.
Correct.
But
But more.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe like I'm seeing it differently then, but there was a fan below saying that
Short.
for 4 more, no.
No.
Just a single. 199.
Single
Should have ran two there.
I said 199, so I
So-
hope that there's 4 wickets right now.
Okay.
No, I was just joking. I honestly hope that none of us get our predictions right.
Yeah, I
Because
really hope.
now that I've lost, I don't want I don't want anyone to like be lucky below. Just joking.
Oh.
200, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Wins the WPL.
What a start!
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I think just to round up that captaincy topic, I think the reason for game going to the Aussies is probably in their mind they feel that they'll be able to make better decisions under pressure
Yeah.
because the rest are not used to these kind of tourneys or these kind of tournaments. So maybe having those in place might be better. While I don't necessarily agree with that line of thought, because I feel Adipti and Mandana, Harmanpreet Kaur are good enough to do that as well in terms of the connect and how they can get things done. But maybe that is the one of the logics that they want, that under pressure they face such situations enough that maybe they'll be able to guide and pull their team through as compared to the others.
Oh,
The
God.
helicopter has gone wrong.
Gone 201 for 5, 1 ball left. Either it's so winning it, or Gurkirat, or no one wins it, or
You can also win.
202,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. It's the way it's poised. It's all 3 results are possible, like Gurkirat said earlier, but I'm applying that same
Now
logic
only two are
here.
possible, right?
Sneha getting her 2nd wicket, which is good to see. Abhinav Gupta, good to see you. Can now understand why Gujarat roping in Kim Garth in a hurry to add up bowling strength. Yeah, I mean, Gujarat, we've seen all kinds of bowlers being used by them, left arm pace, right arm pace, 2 off spinners as well. Who's been the best so far with the ball in hand? By the figures, if you go by that, I would still personally think that what? Sneha 2 for 37 from a
Even
4.
Ash Gardner also.
Ash Gardner 1 for 38 from a 4. Monica Patel none for 34 from her 2.
Oh, it's a interesting choice to send Wong.
Izzy Wong.
Yeah.
Maybe she's at
Izzy
the
Wong before Amanjot. Interesting, yeah. Let's
very
see.
interesting. So last ball, Nix has gone for 202. Gurki at 205. Somesh 201. Let's see who will come right. Will it be 203 and egg
I
on
wish
all our
it is
faces?
203 or
Oh, it's 6. Is it 207? Oh, moment
Oh,
of matters. It is.
Oh,
Six. That's quite crazy.
First ball, he's facing and hit.
That is
Out of the
quite
ground.
ridiculous. I mean, she has a strike rate, a WPL strike rate of 600 right now, Izzy Wong. She can
She's
retire.
done that before, isn't it? So that experience is showing.
Oh, for sure. Gujarat Giants bowling is bad as the pitcher wrote.
So
I mean,
now
we got
I'll say,
Partners.
Nikhil, you were
So who wins the prediction contest?
Of course, my friend, no one.
No one. So every one of you.
You thought I was gonna say, of course, my friend, you, but I changed it last minute, bro. I changed it.
No, but there has to be something for the one who's been so close.
Oh, 100%. Bye. Next time we go to Kulchaland, I'm paying. Deal.
You never
That is
know.
what happens. That is what happens when teams nearing the wooden spoon talk. They want something that is closer to the wooden spoon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's insane.
But
Okay, guys, so
Kulcha
we'll
Land,
just
I think we are not going to Kulcha Land at least in 2023. We'll probably.
don't say that, you never know. Okay, so Nick, Gurkina, take a little breather, have a little refreshment, and come back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you guys there.
On
Even me and Vaishali will just get
on that
something.
note, I just want to say one thing. Since you love the food in Amritsar so much, you should also get married in Amritsar.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Whenever it happens.
We'll talk about that and much more in about 10 minutes. So, all you viewers joining us right now, give us 10 minutes. We'll be back because, of course, we want to see a riveting run chase from the Gujarat Giants. 208 to win. Can they do us? Can they do us? Can they do it? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
Sorry, I really need some water, and so does Vaishali. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Shaunak, please just put the frame on, and we'll, of course, take your leave for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 9:45 sharp. Cheers, guys. Vaishali is still on screen, and he's still We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Small little breather, a little, of course, mid-innings break, and the Gujarat Giants will resume their innings right now, resume the game essentially, because they're going to come up with the bat, and there will be intent. 208 is what they need to get. In Mumbai, if you guys missed it, where were you? Because Harmanpreet played an absolute blinder, 30 balls, 65. The contributions from Haley Matthews and Amelia Kerr as well. We're going to see Nat Siva opening the bowling right now to to Sabinini Meghna. Sorry, I should get the names right. And a single to open her account. So, what's your reckoning right now? What's going to happen? Are we going to see a close match?
I think Gujarat will not be able to chase it. To be honest, Mumbai will gonna win it.
Okay.
But then to be able to say it as a close match, I think Beth Mooney will be the key factor for now.
That
To
is
be
true.
honest, and I was very surprised that they didn't pick Sophia Dunkley. And they went with 4 Australian. Very surprised with it. So let's see how that unfolds. Because if you see the now, they
Maybe
have.
because Sophia Dunkley is English and there's Australian.
I don't know.
No,
That,
maybe
you
not.
can make any theories, but I feel Beth Moon is the key in this run chase, and then obviously Ashley Gardner.
Oh, 100%. I'm glad you mentioned Beth Mooney. This is probably the first time that Indians will be supporting Beth Mooney, right? In some way or the
No,
other.
Gujarat Giants fans.
Of
not
course.
Indians.
I mean, me as well right now, because I want to see Beth Mooney make this target look pretty chaseable. I want Beth Mooney to get off to a flyer. I know that she's a secret Mumbai Indian fan. She won't admit it right now.
And I predicted that Mumbai Indians will win this.
Will win this particular contest. So, 3 balls into the Gujarat Giants innings, 1 for no loss. We'll, of course, get in touch with Nix and Gurkirth in due course. But keep your comments coming in. Good to see all you familiar faces. Chuchand, Subodh, not to forget, even SS98 threw in a comment there as well. Nix, good to see you back. Did you quickly manage to eat your food? How was it? You're on mute. And one second, I'll just take that opportunity to, of course, invite our stats fan who will come on and make his presence felt in this scheme of things. Anirudh, good to see you, my friend. Are you anticipating Beth Mooney fireworks?
Think so. You can expect an 80 of 130 probably, but this requires somewhere around 80 of 170, 180 maybe.
Okay. I mean, so far she's coming off some ridiculous form in the T20
She's
World
cramped
Cup,
herself.
and
Ah,
she
yeah, I think
just
she's
sort of
she's
pulled up
cramped.
now.
Hamstring.
We saw that, and Anila just pointed out as well. She just kind of pulled up. Maybe, I hope it's just an element of cramp and nothing with her
Yeah.
hamstring. Suchant saying, let's wrap the Giants innings under 120. Clearly, the Mumbai Indians allegiance coming through. Greg Casing, who Arsenal concedes another goal. Hoping to see GK was good to see a high scoring match. Absolutely, Greg. Good to see you in the comments. Now, Greg's just made me clear to my phones because I'm a huge football fan. I just want to see this. And there's lots of sport happening, by the way. This man is chuffed that his F1's back as well. The race is tomorrow. Grand Prix
India
Sunday.
made a mistake by not playing. I think Pooja was not well in
Yeah,
the final.
available.
That's why she didn't play. Otherwise, she played all the games wherever she was fit enough.
Oh my God, 1 second, Greg, you made me the happiest man. Arsenal 2-0 down at the Emirates. Maza, yeah, sorry. Carry on. Okay,
But that beats me.
Anirudh, sorry, not Gurkirth. Nick, take this. Do you think India made a mistake by not playing Pooja in the World Cup in as many matches after seeing her thrash Gardner the way she did? All those shots over mid-off.
Yeah, they tried, but again, Vaishali covered that she was not always fit in terms of the injury, and then she got ill, so can't do much there. Regarding your first question, the break was as good as Kaur's knock, so that's full, and maybe Dottin comes back for injury replacement for Mooney. The circle of life completes.
No, I like that analogy. 1 second, sorry, I'm looking at how
But
much it's
I'm very
no.
surprised, Nick, that they didn't pick Sophia Dunkley in this squad just to get all the 4 Australian all-rounders.
True, I mean,
As I said,
Ashes line.
that is definitely she's hobbling off. That's not good.
Oh, she's going off. This is not a good sight if you're an Australian cricket fan or a Gujarat Giants fan right now because your captain, Beth
We just
Mooney,
hope that it's not too serious.
and there's obviously like, can she just fall on the way back to the dressing room on her head saying concussion sub and then get Sophia Dunkley? It doesn't work with that. One
Like
second, I
cricket,
have to ask
yeah.
you this before I forget. 65 runs that Harmanpreet scored, broke 14 boundaries. Have we ever seen that in the IPL where a batsman scored like 50, 60 with that many boundaries? Can you think of at least anything on the top of your head?
One I can think is obviously Suresh Raina's semi-final knock. Not semi-final, yeah, semi-final, I guess.
Yeah,
Was it playoffs or
yeah,
semi-finals?
playoffs,
Eliminators
yeah.
or whatever.
Against Punjab.
Against Punjab. That innings, like what he scored, 87 of 28
Five.
balls,
25.
Yeah,
25 balls.
Yeah.
If
The
you're
best ever
scoring,
50, best ever 50 in IPL history.
if you're scoring like that, then obviously you don't have singles in that. It's just boundaries.
No, but did
That's
he
all.
have 14, 15 fours? Or he would have had more sixes also, no?
He would have had more sixes, but yeah, in women's cricket, you don't
See
see that
sixes.
kind. I mean,
And
not sixes, but that kind of
So
power hitting.
14 fours means 56 out of 65 just been boundaries. Wow, that's like absolutely brilliant. By the way, it's working perfectly for Mumbai Indians so far. They've got the runs, and now they see the back of Beth Mooney, and now they've got Meghna and Harleen who are knocked up. Oh, hold
that's
on.
another
Hold on. Can they hold it? They
wicket.
can. Nat Siver.
My
Next.
captain.
Nick is celebrating.
Captain.
Of course,
Captain
of course.
And Izzy Wong
Nick
saved
doesn't
his
celebrate,
houses.
otherwise, like
This is one of the stupidest joys in life when you grow up and you are like, whatever is happening in the game, at least I am also doing well. It's a very silly thing, but it's okay. We cover up by watching a lot of games, so it's okay.
No, that's true. Do you feel hard on Harleen because they were showing her whole story before the game kicked off and a two-ball duck doesn't really.
Ah,
This is an innings where you can't expect
Power.
runs. You
Sad.
have to feel because they have
Yeah.
to score a 10 runs per over at the start itself.
Was that a nothing
Yeah.
short or just like
and that's the reason I was saying that not having Sophia Dunkley was a big and bold call
Correct.
because Harleen, they can score, but not at the strike rate of more than 150 plus. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Exactly,
150
that
is
is what-
also is like a task for them. Okay, so you want to have someone like who can drive you through the power play and make some runs, even though irrespective of the chase you're gonna do. So that was a big call up to not have Sophia Dunkley in your team. And then I really want to see Ashwini in this team, to be honest. Make the change in the next game itself.
Ashwini.
Ashwini
absolutely.
Kumari.
Oh, definitely.
But to be very honest, Dunkley also could have got out the same way. She's
Dunkley
also
also-
someone who,
See,
because
that-
early ball swing and she's known to play the risky shots first up. So,
yeah.
but again, I completely buy your point. But something that we did not maybe address, the obsession with all rounders will always take over.
Hmm.
It is
Yes.
it's very
Right.
hard to not take an all-rounder. Again, they played Sutherland maybe if you want to say in place of Sophia Dunkley, but Sutherland was in good form just a while back. Even in the WBB that she played maybe last season or the last one, she was coming into decent form. Sophia Dunkley had an okay kind of World Cup, and again, as I said, it's the all-round the what do you call it, the lalach that you say, the greed that the all-rounder could give me 4 overs with the ball, and she also bowls at the end. And I think that is crucial because we saw what happened today as well. They were
Yeah.
struggling to have a bowler to bowl at the back end. So
Yeah.
maybe that is what prompted that Dunkley is solving one purpose, but Sutherland will do two. And maybe then it is what the selection is showing.
Yeah, I think if Sophia Dunkley comes into the equation, then maybe I think Wareham might have to sit out. But let's see how they take that call in terms of the dynamics of the team. But I agree with you, Nick, for sure. And sorry. Adi.
But the thing is, I think they just went with Wareham because they didn't have the attacking spinning option. Option.
Yeah.
So apart
And
from
Wareham is in form. Like
Yeah.
he's taking wickets.
if
Yeah.
Sophia Dunkley would have bowled, consistently. Like I guess only in leagues she started to bowl,
Correct.
but when playing for England she doesn't bowl. If I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
if she also would have been a bowler who can chip in with two
Yeah.
overs or 3 overs, then probably she would have been preferred ahead of Wareham.
Yeah, but Vaishali, do you think there is any other opener that you, again, assuming that Bet Mooney is, maybe there is, I don't know, can't say that she's ruled out, but yeah.
And I think Ashwini is someone who you can float in any position. See if she can, bat and she can give you those 4 overs sure shot. So that is one. And the option I will tell you 1 second.
Yeah. Oh,
Gardner gone first ball.
Very good.
wow. This Mumbai is just wrapping this up.
Gardner gone first ball. A first ball tha.
I think only option is Sushma. Oh, okay. If we need to consider one more point, next, if Beth Mooney is gone, then means your wicketkeeper is gone. So no choice but to get Sushma Verma in.
Which is again it tells you why the squads constructions can be difficult job to maintain, because of course you can't, nobody
Yeah,
can foresee.
I did mention it that if you don't want Beth Mooney to wicket keeper,
Yeah,
do the wicket keeping, then you have to bring in a wicket keeper, and that will no one else but Sushma Verma.
Sushma.
And Sushma Verma plays in top three, so again her position becomes important.
Yeah.
So kind of Gujarat Giants will be like in a tough situation to see how they do it.
To answer Abhinav's question, yes, she keeps regularly for Perth matches and in WBPL before also. For Brisbane Heats also, she was keeping regularly.
So I think they can try with Sushma Verma to open, but then again they'll have that strike rate issue.
Yeah.
I think in the big games, I don't think so that will gonna work. One option that can be tried is that giving D. Hemlata, you know,
Yeah. I think
the
that could be a good one to try.
yeah.
But again, in hindsight, both the Gujarat teams have the same problem. They don't have a powerful opener. They don't have a powerful opener at
But
all.
then at least they have Rashid Khan, no? They had Rashid Khan who finished the game. They had Rahul Tewatia. These guys don't have that as well.
Uh,
So
Ah,
it's
that,
kind of difficult to judge. Like I don't think it's gonna be a series get out kind of an injury. This one, but yeah.
no, but they play their next game tomorrow.
yeah,
Oh,
that's the concern.
Yeah, I hope like she gets recovered, but I really doubt looking at
Well, you
how
can't even risk somebody like
yes,
yeah, Gardner first ball.
Big wicket of Gardner.
Ashley Gardner.
Oh
First
my
ball now.
god.
First
First
ball
ball
We
now.
were just trying to explore the options, Avnish. If Vetmuni is not available for tomorrow's game, who will first of all do the opening and then wicket keeping? That is the bigger question. So if you have to get the wicket keeper, you have to get Sushma Verma. They do not have any other option.
That is madness. That's some big calls that they have to make.
And you were talking about the spinner. So I think what they can do is, so if they've gone for Varan only for the spin option, Parunika Sisodia.
Correct.
Don't look
Yeah,
beyond.
And what kind of spinner she is?
First of all, she is the highest wicket taker in both T20 and the central zonal match that has happened. Okay, so she
And is
is
she an off spinner?
no, she's I think a lens. I'll just confirm for that point, but she's an attacking option. So
Okay.
that gives you one spot for even the overseas player, and you have that option. At least try her.
Correct. And the fact that you're mentioning this whole chopping changing for Gujarat, they have to do this in 24 hours. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
Beth Mooney,
That
right?
is the
Because
that is the biggest
at
problem.
least the
No
men
time
have
to
1 or 2
recover.
days to recover and stuff. It's madness. Guys, just want to tell you all a little brief piece of trivia. So, Izzy Wong, we saw her come out and hit the first ball for 6. She got a catch and she's got no wicket. So, she's technically that first women's cricketer in the WPL to do all those things. So, remember the name Isabel Wong. In 20 years, 30 years later, it'll be in cricket textbooks, history books, all of that. But
Anirudh would only put this question in a quiz.
he could put it in the quiz. You know, I was actually thinking about that first ever IPL game 2008 where
Scripted.
KKR, of course, scored over
This
200
is scripted.
and Bangalore scored under 100. Do you think that's how it's going to be?
This is scripted.
Right now, like, look at this.
That is on. Rahul Dravid bold.
Yeah, bowl of Ishant Sharma, the ball people. The joke.
But Ishan Sharma's ball to Joe Delhi was crazy. First ball
Yeah.
of the IPL, that's again different
yeah,
story.
yeah.
But yeah,
That was also a good one. 5 for 2, 2.1. It's not honestly looking good out there if you're a Gujarat Giants fan.
She's left arm spinner.
But
Parunika Sisodia.
oh, okay, she's a left-arm spinner. Is there any sort of scary batter that Gujarat Giants possess right now still to come, or do you think
No,
No one
they don't
else?
have anybody.
no one else?
They don't
I
have
think
anyone.
D. Hemlata can turn the ball
Yeah.
really high. So she's the one who can change. But I think that will also depend how many balls she's left with, right? You cannot.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, she can knock the ball high, but like, can she knock the ball far?
Yeah.
Or she
Both
can knock
high
the
and
far.
far.
yeah.
High could be Harleen Dion. Oh, ball!
Oh, wow!
Similar kind of.
But skewer.
That is why I told you. This is
That's
scripted.
even, why is
It is
Let's
it
do
is
it.
silly. The wicket went. I went back. Oh dear, another wicket. Oh, but skipper too. She's my captain. Let's be happy.
So Nat Siva is actually giving everyone a lot of fantasy points, 2 wickets and 40 odd that she
So I
got.
think I
Oh,
expect
what a
three
ball.
changes in Gujarat Giants tomorrow. I want obviously Sushma Verma. You have to get in, no
Yeah,
choice,
yeah.
because you don't
Yeah.
have a backup wicket keeper. Then I really
Dunkley.
want Ashwini Dunkley there, Ashwini Kumari there, and Parulika Sissodia.
Okay, so 4 essentially. I
But
mean,
that's
one.
like
I'm
that's
guessing.
it just tells you know how hard this WPL is going to be, because you lose one player and see the number of changes that you have
For
to do.
this, Nikhil, they should have planned it better. When they went for the backup wicket keeper, I
Yeah.
think there were some options available at the door. And with Notion and Mitali there, I was expecting they would pick someone like Swagatika Rath, or means she's not a wicket keeper, but she's an all rounder. They will pick someone like they went for like Sushma Verma is a good player. I agree, but then you knew that your wicket keeper slot is at stake if something goes
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. I'm just looking out if there is an outside chance that Sophia Dunkley keeps wickets. I don't know if that is done before. I don't think she does. She's bold, that I know.
What will she do? You want her to ball also? Who will do wicket keeping when she ball?
It's quite ridiculous that.
I don't think now if she's replacing Moni, then you don't need her to bowl. So then it's a straight swap Warren place, and you just replace Moni with Dunkley. But maybe Gardner becomes. But then Snare Rana is the captain. Maybe then. But again, let's just wait and hope that Moni is not ruled out, because
SS98 is not holding back in the comments, saying Gujarat has gone heavy on overseas players, bad option strategy exposed. Look, it's still the first match, guys. So let's of course cut them off that.
But then you just see that one unavailability of one player, and you have to
Is affected.
go round and round
Yeah.
and see. Like because of one, you have to make at least two changes.
Yeah.
For sure. Nat Siva, meanwhile, is having a feast day out there. She did really well with the bat. Now, 1.5 overs, just 3 runs for 2 wickets, 6 for 3. It looks like almost
Football
basketball
score.
game, yeah, a football score. And I think, Greg, thanks for the football updates in the comments as well. Really appreciate that, but not actually with Arsenal really equalizing. 20 minutes to go. We'll keep an eye on that. But right now, it's interesting.
Ooh.
We saw Gujarat employ spin in their power play, but so far it's been Siva and Izzy Wong. Ooh! I don't think she connected it cleanly. Who the other? Oh, they can actually go for a three-prong pace attack, right? If Pooja Vasakar also is throwing the ball right
Even
now.
Amanjot Kaur balls.
Amanjot Kaur.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you expect Pooja though next? I need to bowl in the power play, or she's not needed if Wong and Siva is there?
I think it depends. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they'll go with they'll make a change from Skivers end.
Okay.
They'll give Easy Wong another over because she was able to get something. She was able to purchase something out of the pitch in her first over
In the
itself.
first over.
And once when you're troubling it, you've got one of the best batters, then obviously she has to get one more over. And from Skivers end, yes, there will be a change.
Yeah, true. And sometimes you feel like because Mumbai have the runs in the bank and they can have that cushion.
Yeah, they'll have that cushion. That is
Correct.
for sure.
So answer the other question as well, which is venue pertaining. Ani, I'll just ask you your thoughts. But next, what about this? I mean, I know it's a first tournament and it's just 2 venues essentially. Will it be a run fest kind of tournament? Because even the past historical evidence of 2 games suggests it's going to be a bat v bat sort of games going ahead.
I think it will start as that, but
Yeah.
once you start seeing huge decks, then it might change a bit. But what I think will still not change maybe is, so there are 2 ways to look about it. One way, if there is dew, it will still remain good to bat
Yeah.
under lights. So that could possibly still have the chasing side. But you see this moment happening now, that which is something that could even out the dew factor as well. If you take 3 early, then the dew will still not be that much a concern if you can take early wickets. So
Yeah.
again, cliches, but strike in the power play will be key if you are defending a score. And of
Sorry,
course, first,
the broadcasters are making a spelling error over there. I was just kind of being nitpicky. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
it's a first day blues for everyone, even if it's Gujarat or the broadcaster. That's all right.
For even
And
the broadcasters and Gujarat as well.
yeah, that's what. And for this, I think, given it was the first tournament, you expected it to be spread around, but hopefully
Yeah.
next season it's done.
Oh, that's why I'm missing leg. By the way, how much is Izzy Wong bought for? Is she a steal? I mean, was she 50 lakhs or less?
50 lakhs.
50 lakhs?
I'm sure.
And I don't remember the base price.
We
Sorry.
got her in the end, so it was at the base price only, if I'm not wrong. Some
Yeah.
year.
I mean, like, base price was 50.
She didn't play this World Cup, right?
No, she didn't.
No.
But then I think some coach has connection, like some coach has worked with her, and that's their.
Oh, that's because of Charlotte
Yeah.
Edwards.
Charlotte Edwards.
Yeah. And of course, it's why Bumrah is to going to New Zealand because Shane Bond.
Yes.
So you see, that is also one of the things that you at time benefit from the system that you have. Again, it's not to say that you're advocating nepotism and anything of that sorts, but you get your opportunities also because of the kind of games that you're playing. I mean, there is a very good story of Robin Powell, who's not part of the IPL, trained with KKR to get better against spin,
Yeah.
and now he's good. He's revived his T20 career. So yeah, it's just part of the game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many more stories like that develop in the women's game. But so far, Izzy Wong has just been making the ball move and talk, and there's a little bit of assistance in the first couple of overs naturally, because we've seen it so far. The ball's coming onto the back quite nicely. There's not going to be a review. It's also going to be interesting to see how Harmanpreet captains a franchise compared to India. She'll have much more options at her disposal. What do you expect from Harmanpreet, the captain, boys? In particular, we've seen her captain India so far. And so far, so
Yes.
good. But do you think Mumbai will help her ease her job up more?
Hey, see, the difference from your international captaincy and your franchise captaincy is very. I mean, the gulf of difference is very big. Like when you're playing your franchise league, you'll have the player liberty of who have been very famous.
Yeah,
And in India, you have limited options
correct.
when you're playing for your country. But now over here, okay, fine, you have, oh, I can go for him. Yes, I can go for him. So you know them better because you have played alongside them, and then it will be easy for you guys, or it will be easy for a captain just to go and, okay, fine, I will go with her. So the planning becomes easy.
The plan becomes easier. Next, what do you feel? I think Harmanpreet, she has some good egos to manage in that dressing room. We talked about Nat Siver, Amelia Kerr. I mean, all of them, of course, getting a little taste of how things can be in India. Do you think? Oh, sorry. Oh, Chachan. Chachan has no filter, honestly.
Somebody is a Ramesh Pawar fan, maybe somebody is a Harmanpreet Kaur fan. Who knows? Let's
No,
not
but
just
it's
let's
good to
just
see that the fans have an opinion, and Gujarat Giants, of course, have Mitali Raj. We've seen, of course, Mumbai
Oh,
Indians having
Saikai
Bruno
Shaki
Sami.
in
Oh,
the
here's
net.
new
Wicket.
face.
wicket time, please.
China?
Let's see how she goes.
See, China?
Very interesting to
China?
see.
No, normal
Oh,
story.
nearly the wicket.
Oh, brilliant feeling, though. Is he warm? She's honestly can't keep out the
Everywhere,
action.
she's everywhere.
Rohan Powell, good to see you. And Gukirat, welcome back to proceedings. I'll just take the Rohan Powell question right now. I'll pose it to you because you're back. Do you think, due to overseas players being all-rounders, we could expect Indian domestic players not having much of a say in the match? I mean, Pooja Vasikar has already 14 of 6. She's made a while.
No, see the difference.
Catch that. Oh, put it
she's
down.
put it- oh, she's put it.
Sharp chance. Sharp
See,
chance.
the reason why everybody go for overseas all-rounders is because of their power. Apart from that, like, you hardly get that kind of power from Indian players. Like
Yeah.
maybe somebody like Pooja Vastrapkar who has that power, but out of 10 you get 2 in India.
True.
But out of 10 you get 8 in overseas conditions.
And right now what is important is the exposure and the experience of a lot of players getting to play the WPL. I think these questions are for later.
Goal.
Wow! Saika,
Brilliant,
come
brilliant.
on! Yes.
Honestly, Isha giving me Krunal Pandya vibes.
Why do you
I-
hate them?
What do you
I-
mean?
I told you she'll take 2-3 before the game began. So she's taken 1 already.
And Neeta Bhabhi is happy as well. Just
What
happy,
was
dude.
that?
But one second, what is this shot, dude? Talk to me about the shot selection.
You can't help it, dude. You have 207 runs on board.
No, I'm saying even this over, the fact that she's just sussed the batsman off already, was that just desperation, you think, from Sutherland?
Of course.
14 balls, 6. I mean, it's worse
Of
than
course there is of course there is desperation.
It's honestly, I mean, she's been trying for a release shot for the longest time, but
Yeah.
like,
And again, Vaishali will say, which is why you should have played Sophia Dunkley.
yeah, she'll say Sophia Dunkley all the time.
Avnish, what did you have for dinner?
I should have played Ashwini Kumari.
Ashwini Kumari as well. Yeah, Gurkiat, sorry, you were saying?
I was asking, what did you have for dinner?
Not yet. I've ordered food and it's been waiting for me, so we'll finish the game. What about you? And
What have you ordered?
Dinner.
Sorry?
You guys were having dinner as well, right?
Yeah, I had my dinner.
What did you have?
I had pizza today.
Oh, that's a new one from Gurkida. That's
This
a
is
new
the
one.
domestic and Isha. Yes.
Brilliant. What an over so far. Just a
Oh,
run
yes.
and a wicket. Oh, and it just put the crosses on. Getting off the mark. 16 for 4. 4.5. There's another comment which just came through right now. There's a women's exhibition PSL game going on.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
I don't
Good
know.
on
It's going
them.
to happen on the 8th, I think. So, yeah.
Score.
By the way, I mean, just on the PSL note, were you and Shuk telling me about that? No, or was it someone else?
Ooh, Sikandar
Yeah,
Raza.
Sikandar Raza.
That was a side innings.
that was a mad match.
50 for 7. Okay. And what is also to be remembered is I think there was a batting promotion there. Shaheen
Yeah.
Shah Afridi batted about David Williams
Yeah,
and Sikandar Raza
number 5.
What?
in the power play. In the power play, Shaheen Shah Afridi came out to bat. I don't know what he was trying to do there because he didn't try something crazy, but he got out. Then, for some reason, Sarfaraz thinks, let's not close the game. Let's chase a good score, maybe, who knows. And they end up conceding 148. And then in the chase, Will Smith gets them off to a rollicking start. They are 53 for 1 after 6 overs. And we
Yeah.
think they don't need to chase much. This should be done. They find a way to lose by 17 runs. It's
That's quite ridiculous.
it's
That is
classic
honestly
PSL. It's classic PSL. You know, Kiran Pollard took 2 wickets today. It's just what it
That
is.
was first boundary of the inning.
Yeah, first
Yeah, see,
boundary. By the way, if
I've
you
not
take
been
sorry,
I've
Gurkiat,
not
go
been
on.
able to watch. I've not been able to follow PSL as closely as the last year, but I do tune into PSL whenever Azam Khan's batting. I mean, what a talent! I watched him bat yesterday, and he played 3 different kind of sweeps to Tabrez Shamsi on 3 different kind of lengths in 3 different directions. I mean, he literally played a pickup shot kind of a sweep.
He's an obsession with sweep shots. He's calling you out, buddy. Maybe he's honestly adopted the Swatch Bharat.
Yeah, because whenever he highlights any
Sweep
innings, it's just the sweep
It's
shots.
just a sweep shot. Abracadabra, meanwhile, saying skipping my comments just like opposition teams skip the yes supporter. Hilarious. Gujarat Giants going down like an Adani stock price.
Oh,
Burn. Love it, honestly. Gujarat Giants weakest team on paper, you reckon?
How can guys be so creative?
I mean, honestly, I love the creativity in our comments section at times. It's quite fascinating.
Abracadabra is a new.
Is a new one. Gujarat Giants, yeah, weakest team on paper. We've taken that from Rowan Parcel. Also, feel free to tell us what you guys have for dinner. Gurki, I just admitted pizza. Next, what was it at your household you just said?
Jalebi.
No, it was something very, very domestic and very healthy for my stomach because can't take risk with so much games happening.
Okay. I mean,
Very light,
that's one way to put
healthy
it.
food.
I just wish our
Healthy
office
food.
kind of functions on the weekends. They think that no one works, so they close the coffee machine, they close everything. And yes, anyone from STW watching, it's a plea, it's a sincere request. All of us are hard workers.
I'll just add one thing to this though.
Buy coffee.
I think that this though it's one of the best again not promoting this kind of culture, but I think these are the type of days and games that I enjoy the most because like when I covered New Zealand games early in the morning, there is nobody in the office.
Yeah.
Even the coffee machine may not work, so you get tea from the nukkad and the chai downstairs. You get it up. You're just like 4 or 5 people, and you're working on the game, and there is nothing to distract you. No mobile phones, no chirping, no gossip. Those are the days where you remember the most because again, like it's just you and the game. So I think it has that romantic side to it, but of course we are all hungry.
No, indeed.
You know, if if people had not known, how crazy Nikhil is, he could have easily described a date and it wouldn't have made a difference. An office date with someone special, and no one would have really figured out the difference.
No, for sure. By the way, you might see the lowest ever power play score in WPL for a while. I mean, 17 for 4. I don't think anyone will top that in this
They will.
tournament.
I was just
Bangalore
thinking,
will. I mean, with the ball. With the ball.
Let's all go there. Our women will be definitely way better than the men for sure. 5.5, 17 for 4. It'll stay like that. And Izzy Wong has been pretty brilliant as well.
60 all out. Any
Oh, that's a good
predictions?
prediction. That's a good prediction.
I was just thinking what will happen to their NRR.
Not everything RR goes up, so it's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. No, but tomorrow's a double header. They have 4 double headers so far. I mean, in totality in the WPL. So we'll be doing watch-alongs for all of that. Join us at 5 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to do it from the second innings onwards. And right now, it's been a sensational power play. 6 overs gone, 17 for 4. Talk about having your backs against the wall. Gujarat Giants really need to kind of, like Vaishali said, later, even though it's just a 5-team competition, NRR is something to definitely consider. Now,
Definitely, Rohan.
yeah,
Definitely.
Wong is faster than Rajat Bhatia, saying Rohan Patil.
Definitely.
For sure. I mean, you look at even Wareham, I think she was bowling 100 clicks plus as a leg spinner, so Rajat Bhatia might be in contention over there. But it's always good to see more target. Hey, Kasargod KL Rahul fan, how are you? Good to see you saying Subodh Chawal.
First of all, I'll tell you, I am not a KL Rahul fan. I've never
There's
been
some
a KL Rahul
snarky
fan.
comments coming through this evening.
I've never been a KL Rahul fan. Yeah, I do defend him because I've played with him. So yeah, that one soft corner.
Yeah, and even I'm a KL Rahul fan, dude. We're both Bangalore boys. What do you expect? Subodh, which state are you from? And I'll be surprised if you don't back the batter from that state that you are. Just talk to me. Gujarat having the same approach as Mithali, slow and steady, I guess. Sorry, not sorry. Dude, like they're not holding back this evening. This lot, everyone's actually having a great
The
time.
power,
Watch along, they have sit at the same place and they're doing this.
yeah.
Brilliant there, by the way.
The comments have scored more than Gujarat so far, so it's fair.
He's Jintimani.
S. Ishaq already better than Radha Yadav and Rajeshwari Gaikwad.
I think we need to just hold on to that. She is definitely a good prospect, but again, she will be tested. It's the first game.
And watch out
So-
for Radhika Sisodia in that league.
Yeah.
By the way, sorry, Radha and Rajeshwari are playing for whom again?
Radha
Radha
is
is
playing
with,
for Delhi
Delhi.
Capitals and Rajeshwari is with UP Warriors.
Okay, nice. Oh, and that's the second boundary of the Gujarat Giants innings now.
And off topic,
Yeah.
don't you think the women's Premier League trophy is much elegant than the men's?
Yeah, I saw it where they all unveiled it with that. It was good,
It's
but
the golden one, right?
Yeah.
The golden one.
for me, I think because now the IPL trophy has just been so symbolic over the years, it looks
How does it matter
huge.
for you, right? Anyway.
No, 100%. I'm just giving my opinion. Like your opinion's all diplomatic, which is just sad and not like really adding any value. To be fair, everyone's just getting on each other's throats over here. But
I don't know what something has gone wrong in dinner for everybody, even if it's for Gujarat or for all of us.
So
Dal mein kuch kala hai, bhai.
for a second match preview, so that is what I was showing yesterday for Shubh as well. So my starting line has been legacy of disappointment for 15 years.
Yeah, if you guys know,
RCB
you
and
know.
DC.
The RCB versus DC. I mean DC, the clash, the basically the losers derby. The 15 years of not
But-
getting a single title.
I'll ask Vaishali. The one question where I feel DC probably lack a bit in terms of lower middle order.
Oh,
And another wicket for Saika. That's
she has even Kunal Pandya celebration.
What a ball.
not a bad. 2 wickets for Ishak. My job is done. We are happy.
Is
Uh,
your feet behind me?
No,
Sorry?
Is your feet behind
No,
me?
no.
Because
Are you watching it Hotstar or Geo? Where are they showing it?
What's
Digital.
that?
Geo.
I am watching it on Sports 18.
Ah,
yeah,
same.
me too. Same.
Sorry,
they're
Nikhil, you were
absolute.
saying.
Yeah, they're 5 to 20. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think 2 wickets for Saika Ishak. That's a great call. I think first, even before the match began, I was wanting her to do well, and she's done. So that's I'm just patting myself for backing her in my, not just in my teams, but as a, because I felt it's all matchup. This side has struggled against slow left arm, and she's come on. The matchup is applied, and it's worked in their favor. So I think Mumbai will take a lot of boxes today, and
Yeah.
lots to think for them. Point is for the game tomorrow. They are going to face Sophie and Gaikwad again. So that is something that I'm very keen to see how they plan around, because I don't think as of now, apart from Buni, we have any other left-handed batter. If I
Yeah.
missed any, I don't know. So we
Well,
didn't see
they don't
any
have.
left-handed batter.
They
So,
don't
So
have.
so
that
does it actually work as an advantage or disadvantage of their game tomorrow? They might know the conditions, but they are of course going to be missing Beth Mooney. They'll be slightly fatigued. So
Obviously,
how
no,
will
that is-
Gujarat work it out?
I mean, that is gonna affect them very
That's when
badly.
mentor will come into place, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
mental
Her
has
mental
only
replaces
do so
with
much.
money.
So I think they, as we were speaking, they'll have to make 2-3 changes. One being
Yeah.
they have to make the way for Sophia Dugdee anyway.
Okay.
Okay, and then no choice but have to get a wicket keeper, which is Sushma Verma. And then have to make some tough call. Monika Patel, I think they can replace her with Ashwini.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, since you will have one overseas slot, you have to fill it. Paralika Sisodia should come.
Okay. So these are the changes that
I
you
think.
could expect
I
maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
The problem over there, tomorrow they're facing UP Warriors,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
They have abundance of left arm spinners, leg spinners.
Sophie Eccleston, Rajeshwari Gaikwad, and then Deepi Sharma.
Filling in
And
with
then-
only right-handers is just gonna backfire their matchups. That is for
But I
sure.
think it's also a problem that a lot of international sides also face, where if there is a very specific, even India, take for example, last year, even in the World Cup, you had a situation where everybody was righty, so the opposition found it very easy to stack up leg spinners in slow left arm. Oh, is that
What
another
a
wicket?
wrong one that
That
is.
is-
What a wrong one to start.
this is-
Amelia
this should be
Kirk,
out.
she can't do anything wrong. 6 down now. Sneerana will review that. And I mean, I don't blame her for reviewing it because they still haven't used any of their reviews. And yeah, Chichan, I completely get that. I mean, you're in consensus with Ani, I'm guessing. Definitely way better than the men's. Let's see if this is out. I'm guessing umpires
I
call
think
it best.
It should be out. Yeah.
But what a way to start your first ball
Yeah,
in
Mumbai.
the WPL career. Amelia Kerr, great stuff. A wicket, essentially. Sneerana's no mug with the bat too, so obviously Gujarat getting bad to worse for them, 23 for 6. Imagine they get handed a similar defeat that RCB got handed by KKR in that first game. What, 158 runs? or
That
something?
score is in
144 runs.
144 runs, the defeat. So I think they're in contention to beat that record as well. Let's see if this is
This
out.
for you. You must be happy. Read this,
Oh, 1 second. Is that out? Oh, there's no bat.
Amrish.
Abdish RCB doing an all out against MI. And look at MI's bowling. RCB fans, mate, I don't want to tell you what's behind this right now. Ani can see it. Honestly, go.
Yeah, this you will be happy. Go after reading this one.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Vasant, honestly, have better things to do, man.
Now that you've said it, it will not happen.
Oh, look at Sachin's comments. Dude, Sachin's being a little volatile as well. The bar looks like Nitin when scared for all the players.
Oh,
Goes on to say,
This
That's not bad.
yeah.
That's
No
not
bad. There's a
bad.
clear gap we can see.
there's no bat. Let's move on. Let's move on. 1 red,
Pitching in
2
line.
reds.
she's
also
gone
back in
now.
line.
She's a Ghana.
Oh,
Umpires
by the
call.
barest of margins.
Oh, yeah, they're playing it.
There
Good
is some bounce,
bounce
but
on here.
Sneeran will have to go. And the Nitin Menon doppelganger umpire has
Right.
raised his left arm and given it out. So 23 for 6. Have we ever seen that score in the IPL ever? 23 for 6? Not 23 for 6.
I wish I'll say something.
Even with RCB, it's not been that bad, bro. Please tell me it's not been that bad. 23 for 6? No, no,
Wish
no,
you
no,
were just-
no, no, no.
Why
I
do you
don't
want
believe
us
that.
To say this?
I do not believe that.
Why
I've
do
never
you-
seen a 23 for 6 in the IPL.
Yeah, but we've seen 49.
We've seen 49, but we've not seen a 23 for 6. We've seen it?
23 for 6.
Like under Prime Dhoni, and they have CSK done that any team, and Mumbai done that any team.
I remember, I guess one match, somewhere RCB or Chennai, either one of them must be 17 for 5 in
Yeah,
the
I
first
think
6 overs.
Chennai was
And
17 for 5, I think, once.
I remember that 17 for 5.
The Delhi game, Nokia, I think, took a lot of wickets up top, so I think it was
Uh,
there.
17, and previously also in Chennai, also there was one game where uh, probably RCB was 17 for 5 in the power play,
No,
and uh,
Hardly surprising. Hardly
huh?
surprising.
this was, but I think this happened in the 2018 season or 2019 season.
21, I don't remember, but
RCB and RCB and CSK were playing the opener in Chennai, I think in 2019, and RCB were dismissed for 70 in the first game.
yeah. So
Oh
in
yeah, I
that match,
remember that game.
in
Oh
that
my
match,
god.
they were 17 for 5, and Chennai were what 20 for 20
I,
for
you know,
1.
you know what I remember by that game? I remember the bloody ads before that game where Dhoni and Kohli were on a terrace and they had to drink tea and keep it on yellow and red coasters. Do you remember that ad?
Yeah, I
They,
remember
And
that.
and even
yes.
there, Dhoni was hugging Virat because he knew what was coming, right?
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Gujarat Giants, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ani, can you explain the 7 for 23?
What can I explain?
7 for 23 is like, I don't know, Courtney watches figures of all time,
आज
something
तो
like that.
आरसीबी का रिकॉर्ड खतरे में
It's quite ridiculous. 23
RCB
for
का
7.
record खतरे
खतरे
में.
में
Okay. What if
Inside is
Gujarat?
No, no, no. I'm just sad that it's been such a sad game.
But what if Gujarat end up with a score of 36 for 9 today, and then they win the win the WPL?
And win the WPL.
Wow.
Oh.
Daniel will be happy.
Now that's what.
I think
1 second. I just want to see the.
Gujarat from down under.
I just want to see the scorecard.
And they are also losing their captain after one game if it is that way.
Oh my
a lot
God.
of similarities.
Dude, so the scorecard, all single digits, okay? 2000658810.
Oh, it's not a pin code, guys.
Not even one Mickey double digits. Woo!
D. Hermita is still there, right?
That's insane.
But I think she's just sticking on the other end, not getting a chance to play. Only.
I mean, earlier in the week, we saw like some retarded score between Isle of Man versus Spain, where I think Isle of Man were 12 all out and Spain finished in 2 balls, something like that. Ridiculous. I mean, Mithali Raj, not a happy woman right now. Absolutely.
Okay. That is also fine. But
But why
I
are
was
they
just-
showing her again and
I
again?
was just checking the highest innings totals. There are two women's team which have scored 318, 314. Like, what the hell?
In 20 overs.
In 20 overs.
Which-
Some random Cook Island kind of a team. I don't even remember the name. They have scored 318 in that. Me and Shiv were looking at it.
Huh.
They scored 318.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this. You told me about this.
54s were hit, Nikhil. 54s. And the opponents were all out for 49.
Yeah. Imagine the batting team scoring more boundaries. Bro.
You start to see more T10.
No, Arsenal have scored in the 90th.
That is the first world problem for you. That Gujarat are out, but he's worried about the team in red. How ironic and apt.
Oh my god. Yeah, but okay, anyway, let's talk about cricket, chaps.
Yeah. Teams in reds are not giving good news to you.
Yeah,
Maybe you
only
need to change.
United actually. United are back. Hopefully, Ferrari is going to be back this season. Even though I just read the sad news of Bloody Verstappen again getting pole.
That's fine.
Yeah, he gets pole.
But then
20
now,
today.
how does Mithali inspire these chaps? She'll need to do something very good here. I mean, she'll have to just make them forget this game.
But coming to both of you, Nikhil and Vaishali, and even Anirudh, do you think that Gujarat in their squad and in their team have that quality that they can bounce back from a loss like this?
Yeah, I think they have it. They need to call it the right decisions. First of all, not having Sophia Dunkley was a
Sorry.
not having Sophia Dunkley was a big and bold call. I don't know why would you not have her. you always knew that DY Patil will gonna be a big scoring match, irrespective whether you will chase or you will bat first. So that call was not right. And then someone like Ashwini Kumari, who can be your absolute asset, which gives value in both the bowling department and batting department, she can be used as a floater. So those calls were like surprising to me, and they have the they have the ability in the squad. Just that the biggest disappointment, if Bat Mooney doesn't play, they have to make a forceful change and make sure Sushma Verma comes in because she's the only backup wicket keeper. So that is something which is kind of not suiting the situation well. But I think they have the players who can bounce back from this situation.
SS98 saying Gujarat lacks quality domestic players, but
No, no,
you're
no, no. That's not right. They have the best quality players because they have Tanuja Kankar. They have Railways player. D. Hamlata is not a domestic, but still she's a good player. And then they have Harli Gala. They have Ashwini Kumari. And they have Parunika Sisturi. I can go on and go on. They do not like it. Just the selection wasn't appropriate.
yeah. I mean, this is schoolgirl running as well. Nearly run out, or not dragging the bat in 24 for 7, 8.3. Oh, and a bouncer from
And
Peter Vasika. But yeah, some great domestic names.
yeah,
went
and
for
one
Gujarat.
more thing, what they have to do is they actually the whole batting setup is made for a 150, 160 chase.
Yeah.
It's
Harli
not.
there
It's not made for a 200 chase. Yeah, Gujarat. It's almost very similar to what Gujarat Titans had in 2022. I mean, their bowlers are strong. I know this they didn't come up well today, but the thing with their batting is the maximum they can go is 140 the biggest player like the strongest will go at 140. That is the maximum they can go. And even Beth Mooney at her start probably 110, and then she tends to take it up. So probably even 160, 150 is their kind of target. If they are able to stop the opponents for this target, yes, they are in the contention.
Does that reflect in the business they've done, Nick, especially? I mean, it was one of the comments as well about option strategies and all that. But
yeah.
Ani makes a good point that their glass ceiling is at 150, 160 compared to say other teams who have much more firepower, right?
Yeah.
I think they
So
also did.
yeah,
Okay, sorry. Next.
then I think it's see you're not going to see too many sides with the firepower to score 200 any which ways. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen even by choice if you want to do that. The problem with some of such when you have such setups is then it's like the SRH setup, where you are banking on one department to do so much that the other just has to survive. So
Yeah,
let's take a very even more good example of the Indian test team in the pitches that they're playing at home.
yeah,
So I just read a stat early in the morning till 2017, the averages were in 60s and 70s versus spin for home batters for India.
yeah.
Now it is fallen to 28.
Wow.
So
That's
what
less
you're
than.
uh, and the thing is the difference for the opposition is not much. But what you don't realize is what the difference was earlier above 50. Now the difference is just 10. So that's what Gujarat has to find out that what is their strength in terms of as she rolled out names for fun, Vaishali.
Hmm.
So obviously the management has the information on these players. It's about getting them in the right order and right usage. And I won't read too much into just one game because you are still going to figure out. It'll probably take you an entire season to find out the best 11. So
Correct.
as long as they're able to find a way that a strategy that okay, if we are a 150 side, maybe we need to ensure our bowling keeps it to that score, or
Yeah.
at max 160, so that even any day, if one of the batter clicks, we should still be able to chase it. So I think that's where also the role of Mithali will come to the fore. Uh, I mean, no disrespect to anything, but a lot has happened in the past where everybody's having opinions and comments on how people are playing and about the strike rates and all. But this is the time to show your experience and value. Add that okay, how can you get a team to function with the resources you have? Because after the auction, you can't say that you didn't have the option. I mean, you only made those picks. These are your selections. So, should be a good test to see how Mithali uses that experience because she's definitely gone for experience and overseas all rounders. So, how she uses them and gets to a strategy that they are able to get to decent scores so that the batting can do just enough, just like SRH would. 150, 140, that is our power score. Let's ensure the bowling is so good that it keeps to that. The problem I think with them is they don't have the depth in that attack to do it on good decks. So
Yeah.
that is the challenge I think most teams will face, and the season will only improve them and the system in place. So maybe it's
Oh, for
also the
sure.
decks.
I think, I mean, you make some good points that the fact that yes, the team, if you look at the Gujarat Giants squad, is overseas pros and more importantly, all rounders in experience. And
Sure.
like even your SRH comparison, right? Oh, that's the first six of the Gujarat Giants innings.
See him with that.
Hey, mother, well done.
Oh,
Well
double
done.
digit.
And that was and double digits as well.
Oh, it's Julan
Julan Didi.
Goswami.
Yeah, and just to finish up Nick's point, I mean, his comparison with SRH, I mean, clearly it's worked for them over the years, but again, you're expecting a bowlers to do a heavy lifting. And Gujarat Giants, they'll find their feet, and Mithali Raj is probably the right person, the wrong person. I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments below if you guys think she can take on that responsibility. 30 for 7. So what are we going for, guys? To topple RCB's record, or do you think 49 will still be haunting us?
100% RCB is not. They will hold the record. RCB deserve it for a long time. So let them have it.
80 runs.
Till the time Himlata is there, I think she'll try to go as deep so that your NRI doesn't go first.
Yeah.
Get the game deep because obviously you can't win from here.
Hmm.
You have to make sure that you need to reduce your loss as much as you can. So that's one thing. Plus Mansi Joshi as well. In the recent game that has happened in One Day Trophy, she plays for Uttar Pradesh. She plays for Uttar Pradesh, and she won that game again. Sorry, I'm missing something. She plays for Uttarakhand. Sorry, not Uttar Pradesh, and she won that game by her batting.
Okay. Even though she's primarily a bowler.
She has that capability.
Okay. But is she someone who is a hitter, or do you think she can just hold the bat?
Both the things she could do. Like I remember that game very well. She was able to rotate the strike well. She built a good partnership, and she was able to get the team through the line. So
yeah, I mean, some players will of course see them come to the fore throughout the course of the season. We can't really judge in the first game, but that's got away, and that should give Himlata some more confidence. 36 for 7 now, 10 overs gone, and Amelia Kerr, even though she got wicket so far, she conceded quite a bit in that over. Julian Goswami and Charlotte Edwards, I mean, you can't ask for more experience in terms of women's cricket. You're talking about a wealth of experience in that Mumbai Indians dugout.
Yeah.
And even Dave, I think, picked Mithali Raj.
It's like Mithali versus Julian, right?
Yeah,
Off
for
the
sure.
field as
No,
well.
but like I'm saying, with the addition of Charlotte Edwards as well.
Yeah,
who's been,
and even Gujarat has Rachel Haynes, right?
yeah, correct. And Rachel Haynes, I mean, she's
And Nushin, how can you forget Nushin, guys? She's
Yeah.
unbeatable as a coach in domestic circuit for 2 years, and even under 19, she did a great job.
100%. Now, you guys, of course, mentioned some crazy spinners. You brought up Eccleston's name for UP, who we'll see tomorrow. We're seeing, of course, Amelia Kerr today. I don't know why they moved into ads. Okay, we missed the ball at the Watchalong, thanks to adverts. Who do you think is the standout international spinner in this year's tournament? Is it someone like Kerr, or will it be Eccleston? Will it be Gardner? Who is it for you guys personally?
For me, it's going to be Kerr.
Okay.
Like Eccleston has, Kerr's variations are like exceptional.
Yeah.
I've seen that like her googlies are so difficult to pick. Even I'm not saying that I'm a Bennett late.
Yeah.
Even for me, sometimes picking it up from the back of the hand. Oh, okay, fine, I am gone.
True.
The first ball, I thought, oh, yeah, it's a normal leg spinner, or maybe it's straight in.
And she got a googly.
It was a googly.
LBW, yeah.
Hey, you know that way she has very good variations.
And she bowled another googly right now that we just saw, right?
Yeah,
So,
for us.
whereas Eccleston is more like
Muncie.
metronomical accuracy.
It's the conventional left-arm spinner. But the thing, what precedes her, why she's so successful is because she has much more. She's much more pacier than others. Probably, if you consider Radha Yadav or anybody, Radha Yadav, Rajeshwari Gaikwad, or anyone, if you see S. Johnson and Sophie Eccleston, these two ones are like much more quicker. So once when you're quicker, that is when you're able. That is when you get that you're able to beat the batsman, or you're able to flummox them, you can do that way. You can
Hmm.
do it if you have that pace.
Correct.
But too slow, too flighty balls are just gonna pitch in and just gonna come out to your bat.
Yeah. I mean, those
It's kind of that way.
okay. Vaishali, for you, who's your international spinner you think is the best right now?
I think Sophie Eccleston, I would rate a bit higher than Emilia Kerr. And I think what also important is that for in case of Emilia Kerr, she plays in both the department.
Mhm.
Like her batting is also as strong as her bowling.
Yeah.
So when you have that confidence from one department, you automatically tends to do well in the other as well. So that is something which is working in her favor. But if you go by Sophie Eccleston, she's not such a great batter, but bowler she's definitely up there. So Amelia Kerr is always
Oh, shot.
shot, yeah.
Yeah. Six.
6.
Wow,
You guys-
she's actually. I mean, that's just 3
Yes.
shots in one.
Yes.
She's danced down the track, and then she's of course hit over the bowler's head, and then she had the right knee also go down. Just look at this.
Yeah.
Please, Sports 18, don't around with your broadcasting. Okay, yeah, look at this.
Yeah, so I was telling you, right,
Wow.
high and far.
That's a shot.
High and far.
I mean, not far, but high, more than far.
Diana and Hemala. She used to open, right?
No, she comes
Is she from
always.
Karnataka?
No, Tamil Nadu.
she's from Tamil Nadu. She used to play for Tamil Nadu. Now she plays for Rangers.
Okay, nice. And she's also experienced.
She's experienced. She's represented India.
Okay, super.
But like she's like a very good player at the domestic level. She's yet to prove at the international.
Suchant, I think, went on to say in the earlier comment, if you guys are wondering, he said Julian was a really good pick, but then Subodh replied to him saying, even MI picked Archer over Morgan for a head coach job, so they must be doing something right. They had Mahela before, who was successful as well. So Mumbai Indians always kind of get things right. Maybe it's the money, maybe it's something else. I don't know.
Always.
You're not supposed to say that.
We can say what we want.
Always.
The Watchalong. It's not to say the Watchalong.
Don't forget that 49 is under threat now.
49, let it be on a threat. No problem. Honestly, no
But I
problem.
think in the BPL it has happened, no?
This is
15
the
hours?
advantage
Yeah.
of being a neutral man.
Yeah,
Even I was a neutral fan. In this WPL, I want in domestic players to do well, but he's wanting us to pick a team. What do we
Yeah,
do?
no, but I'm saying when the IPL started, not the Women's Premier League, who did you support? You were again
Mumbai. Yeah.
And when did you start watching the IPL? 2008.
I don't remember the earliest memory, but I've been watching like I know. I've
Or
been
from
watching.
2013 properly you started
Yeah,
watching?
even Mumbai before that. So I've been
Okay.
watching.
That's good to know. Pranamaran, good to see you in the comments. GG dissed ABD today. I'm so glad you brought this up because our man here, sitting to my right, he's pulled out stats showing AB de Villiers in away conditions compared to Chinnaswamy, and then he's done the same thing with Reina. Check it out on Instagram. It's a great reason to
But
follow
what
us
is
on
instant
Instagram.
karma?
Basically, Gigi went on to say
I
that.
know that I know,
You saw
but
that,
instant karma for GG.
I mean, I think he meant the wordplay GG Gujarat Giants and Gotham
Yeah,
Mumbai.
what is
Some
this
sort of
connection?
linkage. But yeah, on that note, check that stat out on Instagram. It's got a lot of traction. You will be honestly flummoxed to see AB de Villiers and Suresh Raina in terms of Chinnaswamy numbers. And the way Gotham Mumbai said that as well, I just didn't like it. I mean, I love you, GG. I love you, BC, also his agent. We've of course interacted in this very platform before, but come on, it's ABD.
He wished you also, no?
Dude.
For your
Wish me
birthday.
as well for my birthday.
I know he doesn't have the title, but how could you say that? Oh, he's higher than Raina. Dude, that guy averages 77 in wins. 77 in wins, AB de Villiers. And only once out of 37 times where he has scored a double digit while chasing, only once RCB have lost.
Wow. I'm fucking indebtful for that guy, dude. Like, honestly, it just invokes emotion out of me in a different regard. Right, so let's see if the 49 can be crossed. I think it can. I think, in fact, Gujarat will manage to play out the 20 overs, or is that wishful thinking?
I think they should
They will
try
go for
this.
that.
Because, like you said, Mansi can bat.
Yeah, and Hemlata can do the job.
Correct.
So you want to reduce the NRR
Mhm.
deficit, so that you are still not very at the first game itself. You're not at the backstage.
Yeah.
So that is what they think it should be. Obviously, you can't win it from here, but then this is how you should go.
Not true. By the way, Izzy Wong just looks like a character out of the Matrix, and I love her little earrings as well with the little
Yeah.
lightning bolt over there. We're going to see some cool things in the WPL. We've seen it over the years with all the West Indians
Shot,
bringing
yeah?
it to the IPL
No,
as well.
but-
The mid-off is back. Listening to Castle Go is always fun. Live, man. Thumbs up, says Simochan. Just pulling your leg
That's
in the
fine.
comment. Because you remember, it was the same guy who said Hi, buddy, you're a KL Rahul fan. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
So do not forgive him easily. They're all snakes in the comments.
That's
All
right.
snakes.
That's right. Yeah. Opinion changes like this,
It's
right?
mad. It's honestly madness.
They're all fans of former cricketers. Let's just
They're all fans of former cricketers. I think you only said it, no, Nick's in the last one where India got honestly become like these Rohit fans and then Virat fans and still supporting the whole larger cause, and they have their own divides. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. I
the
think it is always
especially
going to be there, na?
yeah,
It's very hard to stop that when you have a nation where I wrote this tweet in 2016
yeah,
that every Indian selector may not be a cricket fan, but every Indian cricket fan is a Indian cricket selector. So,
yeah,
uh, and it is fair to have opinions as long as you're not able to. I mean, we love boundaries, but we don't know how to set them. So, maybe that is something that as a cricketing audience we can grow to, and which is where comments like the ones that we just discussed, they don't
yeah,
help
yeah,
because they are misplaced. They are said in the gist of things. You may be fine to have a strong opinion, but there is enough fact to say that it's not right. And
yeah,
when you, the thing is, you make it very normal to do, and that is
yeah,
the problem. When you make it a very normal thing to say, then that is the problem. Like even if it's South Africa, even if it's with RCB, like teams are choking, they are chokers. Half of them don't even know what a choke means. A choke means you have to get into a good position and then you have to lose. Not
yeah,
getting into a good position is not called a choke.
yeah, yeah,
But the thing is, it's the responsibility of us in the media or the coverage that we start to tell them that, okay, we are not saying that we are right, but this is what it is. Now you make a call for yourself. What do you think is right? So when you say ABD, see, everything need not always be fixated by trophies.
yeah,
So there are like, just to maybe digress, but Kohli said in this podcast that he was called a failed captain, and
yeah,
that hurt him. But to an extent, I feel the expectations are also there.
Yeah.
So, and it's the expectations that lead to those remarks. And it's not that he was unlucky. There were obvious flaws, which is what people highlighted. And it is always a part of the way we follow the game. So, but there has to be a level to it in terms of how you say it and how you do. Now, the way he was removed from captaincy, now that is not cool. So
Yeah.
it's hard to get the balance, but the problem is we are so much into that old culture that we are always in revenge mode. We get green decks, we'll give you snake pits as pitches, try and play on Turner. So it's just a cycle that keeps rotating till nobody stops them. So it's a circle. Hopefully
no, I
the
fully
players
agree.
now.
No, I mean, look at AB's career, right? Like, he's achieved everything, fastest hundreds and 150s and all of that. And even Virat, just because they don't have, say, an IPL or he's not won anything in terms of as a captain, you can't really write those players off and rubbish them, right? Like, say for example, Rohit Sharma doesn't have 4 Test maces, or he's not lifted the 4 Test maces as much as Virat has. Or Virat doesn't have 5 IPLs like Rohit has. So every player will have like a plus and a
Yeah.
minus. So
And which is
obviously,
why, just to maybe summarize it, don't take wins for granted. When Dhoni won 3 titles, 3 ICC trophies, everybody was like, once we have better resources, once we have better things will. What has happened in the last 10 years? So don't take anything for granted. Even if it's 2016 patch where Kohli scored 4 tons
yeah,
and you felt that, okay, this is the year, let's just be in the moment. These players don't have a longer career. Not many of them play 10, 12 years. So
yeah,
whoever you like, it's a general query. Enjoy the game. And yes, see, trophies define legacy, but it's the impact that you leave on the game. Now,
yeah,
McCallum did not have. Now, let's take the example of baseball. It's making people think. Now, they will not win the WTC trophy, but it doesn't mean that it's a way to go. It's how you want to play. Results are byproduct of the process you follow. So why did India come? India won in Australia twice. Half of the subcontinent have not even won 1 test.
yeah.
So you need to cherish that. Everybody cannot win everything. So we need to find a way that they are also humans.
Yeah,
So it is, and sorry, again, Virat said he's not mad for trophy cannot fill it out. Then why is he play? So they all play to win the trophy, but it's not one person's job to get it. It's
yeah,
the entire unit. You will need the entire unit to come together as a complete package, and then you win the trophy. Which is why you celebrate those trophies.
And who knows,
again,
dude? Virat could have won it if he played for Mumbai, right? Like if you had Bumrah and you had Pollard and all these guys just bailing you out.
Yeah.
Rohit hasn't really won it like by himself. He's had a great team to bail him out. And
yeah.
at times,
I mean, just to put it out in that context, you are at different phases in life.
yeah,
This Virat Kohli quote was not the quote that he would give 10 years back.
correct.
So you have to understand people play for different things. They may not be always be open about it because as a cricket nation, we are not ready to accept that. So let's accept that as well. And let's see how Gujarat Titans go. Gujarat Giants go, sorry.
Yeah, just coming back to it, there's an LBW shout that they reviewed it.
Oh,
and
that is,
it looks out. It's a third wicket for this
Yeah.
beautiful
On
left
49.
arm spinner. Honestly,
Strike.
8 for 49. The 49 is in questions right now, honestly. And also, like, just generally, people, I know that Virat's having a poor run in form,
Yeah.
dude, but no other batsman has emulated that 973. I mean, I know Gurkirat comes on saying, oh, play this brand of cricket, that brand of cricket. We've still not seen that Kohli record broken. Until someone does that, people just need to, like, calm it down a little bit. At least the guy's given us great memories, even ABP.
I mean, see, the thing is like,
There is no doubt that Virat is not a good discipline. He is.
I mean, you see, the simple concept is once when you're watching any game,
Yeah,
for example, like when I started to watch Formula One,
yeah,
like it was like I have been listening to stories of how Schumacher was dominating,
correct.
like how it was in Ferrari. So what happens is once when you know somebody is dominating or some batsman is dominating the world, then you have the tendency of liking towards that person.
Mm.
You tend to become a fanboy of that person or that team.
Yeah,
Even for an Australian, if you are like once when I started to say okay fine, when I started to see cricket, oh Australia was like okay fine. I was even in an Australia match like I wanted Australia to win gold. But once when your dad or somebody tells you like how other teams have dominated, then you get into that situation where oh okay fine. So it was like this. So your visual representation of what a team is doing is how you become a fan.
Again, Chachant going on to say, if we don't have won BGT trophies in Australia, no one will take India's to BC. Just challenging opposition is not good enough. Trophies do matter in the end. I mean, I know what he's trying to say, Chachant, and he's not kind of being snarky about it. In the sense, like, ultimately, once we all pass from this world, history will suggest that, okay, Mumbai Indians have so-and-so titles. Even if we look back at Ranji Trophy history, right? The fact that Mumbai and Karnataka dominated for donkey's years,
Sorry,
right?
only Mumbai.
Mumbai, but Karnataka also, if there was a
Railways in women's cricket.
Sorry, only Mumbai.
No, I know Mumbai had that extreme 30-year sort of thing, but then there was a fight at least, little bit.
That is after 2012. I guess after Amol Muzumdar, all these guys retired from Ranji Trophy.
Point being, look, why do we say Mumbai is the most successful Ranji team? Because trophies. No one remember that Holkar team or whatever, right? I mean, not the Holkar team.
There's appeal for Rana.
What?
no, it's a review, right?
Yeah. Abracadabra saying Sachin Apadya, GG is a straightforward man, loves his style on and off the field. You may find his comments sometimes harsh, but it's a real truth, except or perform yo-yo test. So yeah, I mean, sometimes people would read into GG's comments, might not be reading into it. By the way, good news or bad news if you're an RCB fan.
I told you, the moment you said it will happen, I told you it will not happen.
By the way, the umpires are domestic umpires or have they international experience?
Domestic.
I think, domestic, and I think she's Brinda Rathi, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
She's Brinda Rathi.
Domestic umpires.
And also, I would like to I just wanted to point out that while we were doing this, the conversation, Jintimani Kalita, she bowled an impressive over. She's the 19-year-old girl from Assam, and she's the right arm pacer. And she has bowled like decent over, only 4 or 5 runs when Hemlata was actually talking the ball so high to others. So this is the talent we have.
Yeah, we have lots of talents. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. It's just match 1, but there's another 22 games left, including the final, that is. And Sachin makes a really good point as well. I mean, different sort of perspective from the fans. So keep your comments coming through. Really appreciate this one. He goes on to say KKR won 2 trophies, right? But they've only 1 ton in all of the IPL, and that first ton scored by Baz. It's more about how team plays than the game,
Yeah.
more than trophies for me. So differing views in the comments.
That was for caught behind.
No,
It's
she
off
didn't
the
catch it.
glove.
She
Then
didn't
why
catch
did
it.
they appeal?
I don't know. She didn't catch. That is what I thought when I saw the glove. When
So
I
they've
saw the ball
sent this
hitting the
up for
glove.
LBW.
Why did they review this? Yeah.
Ishak playing under Harman for India next. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, she's already shown her worth. Quickly, player of the match tonight. I mean, there's some great shouts.
I think
Harmanpreet,
Harman.
Nat Siver, Izzy Wong,
Harman.
Ishak, Harman.
She
hands
set the
down.
tone of this
And
match.
if okay, fine. So Harman, I agree with
What
all
the
of y'all.
Hell is that dude?
If
from
it's
that
not
time?
Harman, who is it? Second
Sai
play,
Vaishya.
for sure, right? 3 for 11 is a great return. Is
I
it-
mean, even
Why will they review this bizarre?
I don't know like what review it is for.
You want a better example? I'll tell you. Yesterday, I think it's just yesterday.
Oh yeah, I know. Tommy McFall.
Yeah, I know.
The bat hit the middle of the bat. You know, the ball hit the middle of the bat. And
It was middle of the bat.
even Jason Holder did this for Azhar Ali test
Yeah.
match. Like
Yeah,
around 6 o'clock in the evening, I was having vada pav. He
Yeah.
bowls, Azhar Ali defends, and Jason Holder says, "I want to review," and it's bang in the middle of the bat, and it's a review. So it's happened. It
Arunabh
happened.
Gupta, good to see you in the comments. Maybe a new person subscribe. He's saying check for white. Definitely, that was a shambles of a review. But
Yep.
yeah, 40, also it's
Qualified.
49. It's back to 49. It's off
Oh.
50. Oh, so it's still have some hope here.
Okay, guys,
Guys,
watch out
So
for
Kalita's from
Yeah.
Assam.
from Assam. She's 19 years
Yep.
old, but see, Hemlata is finding it hard to hit her. So you can see.
Yeah, I think she's taking a page out of the Dhoni manual, which is just batting out the 20 overs as much as she can, right? Because
Yeah, but then
what else do you do in a situation like this?
okay, 49 is
Patas ho gaya.
Gordon Cross. Well done.
एक पल की खुशी.
50 हो गया.
And it could be the slowest 50 in a WPL and the longest time coming. I don't think anyone beats
You know,
this
we have seen
record.
like the two extreme ends of the game, right?
For sure.
One
Yeah.
is like 200, and then second is like you are just, what is this pitch? They've changed it, yeah.
It's-
No one is
It
able
is.
to-
It's
That
just the
is-
class of Herman and the start that Mumbai got, which is why I think Gujarat, when they reflect, I think it was the first 6 overs that they got very wrong.
What's
Yeah, with the
good-
ball. With the ball.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
they-
no. Yeah. I fully agree with you. I just think this second innings, it feels like they're playing in Indore. The first innings they played in
They
Diva
play-
Park.
Yeah, now
This
they're going indoor.
comment which we had, Hemlata, she was in our team.
Yeah,
got
she was.
also, but she wasn't able to perform it internationally.
How many times did she play for India? Like 3 or
I think
4
more than
times?
10 times.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Yeah.
just check.
Oh, that's a shot from
Monica
Monica.
Patel, yeah.
Wow.
She, I was
Nice.
reading this comment, reading this one save today. She was in some good touch in the domestic level.
Monica Patel.
Yeah, Monica Patel.
Yeah.
People were only talking
That's
about
a
her.
very good shot that is.
Yeah.
She's from
Yeah,
Karnataka,
yeah.
right?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Talent.
we have seen her play, so that's why.
Wow, she's playing with a Baz bat as well. Dude, the whole MI batting was really good, except maybe Yastika. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they had some power in their ranks. Harmanpreet, Haley Matthews, Nat Siver, Yastika.
But they have to play Astika. They don't have any other
Yeah,
choice.
because she's
Yeah.
left you saying that? Or?
No, they have it.
She's-
No, Priyanka Bala is there, wicket keeper.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not privy to these
Okay.
names as the expert in our corner, which is good to know. And I really like the fact that you're throwing out some good names there, Charlie. Because to be honest, maybe even the boys here, I don't know how their knowledge is, but lots of viewers would be intrigued to know about the domestic talents. So I'm waiting to see Jasya Akhtar actually for Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Sir. And I really want her to open the innings along with Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just peer to the squad, guys. Kim Garth, do you think Kim Garth can play tomorrow? No, right?
I will tell you my playing 11 for tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
See.
The 2 games tomorrow. We're doing both watch-alongs, by the way. RCB Delhi
Ooh.
Capitals, Gabon. That'll be a 3:30 start for the watch-along. Will be 5 p.m. We'll do it from the second innings, and also this night game we'll do from the second innings, which will be Gujarat versus UP. So lots of cricket. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you guys can be tuning into all our coverage. 13.05 overs, gone 55 for 8. It feels like the second innings never really caught on fire from a batting perspective. The only silver lining being Hemlata, 25 of 20. Fun fact, she's the only score with what, double
Double
digit
digits,
score?
yeah.
No one else in the innings. so
Monica
far?
can come up there. Let's see.
Let's see.
I guess was that the first boundary of apart from Hemlata?
No, they've been on. So far,
Mansi hit was no.
No, Mansi didn't hit.
Wareham hit 2 boundaries.
Madam,
So there's been just 4 boundaries.
Impressive, yeah, impressive. Jinti
Yep.
4 boundaries and 2 sixes. But look at the bowling scorecard for Mumbai. Nat Seva, 2 overs, 2 for 5.
Yeah.
Izzy Wong, 3 overs, 1 for 7.
You know,
Saika Ishaq,
Mumbai-
3 overs, 3 for 11 and a maiden. Amelia also maiden, 2 for 12.
Mumbai has like so many number of all-rounders that they can actually leverage it and play one or more two batters without even having to have one specialist
Oh,
bowler.
absolutely.
Grace
Grace
Harris is
Harris,
Heavy
UP.
Mac hasn't bowled yet, so you can
UP
imagine.
Warriors
UP,
Super.
UP.
Kazi hasn't bowled yet.
Humaira Kazi, yeah, she's an all-rounder, but
And Amanjot Kaur hasn't.
she's a
Amanjot
medium
Kaur.
Yeah,
pacer.
she medium pacer. Yeah.
She hasn't bowled. So you can imagine, so they can actually add one or more batter. One or two
Grace
batters.
Harris, I think,
Haley
is in
Matthews,
the.
I was just saying, and she's
Oh,
in
and
the-
Haley Matthews. Grace Harris plays for UP, right?
Yeah,
Grace
yeah,
Harris
Grace
is
Harris
UP,
is
Tyler McGrath is in UP.
Oh,
That's
that's
it.
a good
He
team.
would have. That's a
Virender
big
Gire,
team.
Tyler McGrath, Grace Harris, Deepti Sharma, Rajeshwari Gaikwad,
Do they have any
Eccleston.
Indian batters?
Eccleston, huh?
Proper Indian batters, UP?
I think they land there. So they have Kiran Navkire.
Okay.
So she's the one, and then I'm
Grace Harris, yeah, we answered your doubt.
So Alyssa Healy and who's
So
the
they have-
opener?
opener. I think Kiran, you can see in top.
Kiran, okay.
Interesting, very interesting.
That's the one. So
It'll be interesting to see
And
how
Shweta
UP fit in
Sehrawat
all
also is
the.
there. Shweta Sehrawat.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's, yeah.
Shweta Sehrawat.
Highest
So
run
she'll
getter.
open with Healy.
Either she can open or even Kiran can open, and even you can see Kiran in top.
Or even Talia Mudra can open.
No, but I don't think so.
No.
You know, Alisa Haley is also there.
So
right?
who will be their 4 foreign picks?
So I'll
Alyssa
tell you.
Healy,
Alisa,
Sophie.
so I think they'll have to take a tough call between Grass Harris, Tyler McGrath, and Shabnam Smith. They can't play.
Oh, yeah.
So Alisa Haley is fixed because she's your captain. She'll come, and then
Eccleston is fixed.
Eccleston is fixed. So then you have to Shabnam Smile, Tyler McGrath, and Grass Harris. So you have to make this.
I dropped Shabnam as well.
So,
Even
yeah,
though
that's-
she did decently in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I know you disagree with me. Who would you play
And
then?
because of this,
Talia McGraw, Grace Harris.
I'd not start with Grace Harris to begin with. I'd have Thalia and Shabnam both because is that a wicket? No, that's a good shot. Great.
Great shot.
I think the thing is Shabnam gives you the pace option, which we've already seen make a difference with how Gujarat have played. So I think that way that option is always good. And Tyler McGrath can also give you overs with the ball as opposed to Grace Harris who bowls spin and can bat in the middle overs. So I think in that sense, maybe they'll begin with this combination and they'll definitely be changing and tweaking.
no, but that's an interesting point to make because if you don't play Shabnam Smile, your pace bowling will look like a little weaker.
Yeah, because there's only Anjali.
Because Anjali Sarvani is there, but then after
Yeah.
that you have to go with either Yashasvi and Prashvi Chopra. Prashvi Chopra is a spinner, so you have to
Spinner,
go
yeah.
with Yashasvi. She's again under 19 player.
Out and out pace.
Yeah.
Okay, out and out pace.
Yeah,
Like,
which is why I said Shabnam-
options for the UP
Yeah.
Warriors.
UP Warrior is.
Only-
I think they bought overseas player in a way that it's so sad that one will miss out.
Yeah. No, we saw them also aggressively go for it in the auction.
Yeah.
And they got some really key names like Vaishali just mentioned.
Oh,
Probably the only thing wrong that Mumbai Indians have done all evening, but look, that won't really disturb them too much. Also, it'll be interesting to see, like Vaishali said, UP Warriors and how they go about their brand of cricket because they have so many exciting cricketers. Let's see
I'm
if
so
they,
excited. That's why you were asking me to pick team. I can't. I've been watching this players
but
since
that's
so
Nick's
long.
team. UP is now Nick's team. The only thing I
No,
don't
I
like
don't
about
know
UP
right
is
now.
the fact that they've gone with Z. Why would you make it Warriors with a Z?
Because you will talk about it. No, that's the reason.
What Z?
I actually came up with a fun. This
Warriors.
one.
I'll
You've
ask-
seen
I'll ask someone to ask them why did they go like this.
Is it like some naming sort of thing with a Z?
I think
Why?
numerology or something.
somebody, they would have asked him, he would have said Warriors.
Warriors. You know what I was thinking initially? It might be like a Kabaddi franchise or PBL franchise or something.
Oh.
like that.
of a lakh reasons that could have been one.
Yeah.
This is not.
but you have to think out of box to think that solution. To be honest,
For sure.
no,
किसी ने
I
पूछा
try to get the answer. Okay, I try.
No,
to get
I
the
honestly think it comes down to just like the business side of things.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
it's very a UP Warriors in terms of the PBL or the volleyball league or Ultimate TT or something like that. So that's why I
And
think
also,
this is
just to
what-
add, like UP has one of the best spin attack
Yeah.
in this
Oh wait, I
tournament.
think UP Warriors was a hockey team in HIL. I might be wrong, but just let me know in the comments below. So Watchalong meanwhile saying, remember guys, before starting the WPL auction, we commented on the show that we won Haley Matthews stock when she got shocked, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Stop.
she got unsold first, and in the accelerated
Yeah.
round, she got picked.
And she's such a crazy
Addition,
T20 player,
addition,
yeah. Back and bold. We saw what she did today. First six, by the way, of the WPL went to Haley Matthews.
Oh,
So good to see.
shot!
Oh, and Nick is going mad because that's 100 fantasy points, baby. That's insane. That's brilliant stuff. I mean, it'll be insane if she can get a 5-4.
Yeah.
Dude, I like to see that. 5'11", 3.2, that proceedings are 64 for 9. Jeez, we haven't seen a worse score of this. One sec, how much did RCB score in the 2008 IPL?
66.
66, right? That's hilarious.
66.
You are having your own competition.
Yeah,
Anish.
100%.
I mean, 66 or 72, I guess. Somewhere around that range.
Wow.
So she's uncapped, right, Vaishali?
She's
And
Yeah,
how old
yeah.
is
25 around, I guess.
Okay, so basically our left arm spin Arsenal has just become stronger. We have Dipti, we have Rajeshri Gaikwad, now we have
And
Izan.
you are yet to see Paranika.
And we're yet to see Parnika. Hopefully we'll see her tomorrow.
Oh, because
Maybe
it's
done.
because
Oh
Bengali-
yeah, of course. Sorry.
honestly.
Late news. But there we go, guys. 143 run to the Mumbai Indians.
Oh.
That will do them a world of good.
144. Next, how much did they win by? KKR 144, right?
In the first game,
In
Yeah.
the first 2008,
Just-
144 or 142.
just check
Either
that.
one.
Very same.
We'll give you
She's
that in
27.
due course. But the big breaking
140.
news- 140.
140.
140.
Okay, no problem.
But I mean,
Ah.
still big wins
I-
nonetheless. For sure. Guys, look, thank you so much for joining us in this watch along. It's been terrific, especially what we've seen. I know it's been not that much excitement in the second innings, but we still saw Mumbai Indians dismantle this Gujarat Giants batting order, 64 all out, and you don't expect that. Not all out, with Beth Mooney, of course, being injured. So double whammy for Gujarat Giants. They wouldn't like the way their tournament started, but we've loved it so far with all the banter, the snarky comments, the laughter, the digs, the expert opinions. That's how we do it on CDC and our watch alongs. And of course, if you're watching this for the first time, subscribe, guys, please. And sound like a bloody fucking recorder while saying that. Honestly, I need some dinner. And we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Hugs, of course. And it's been Mumbai Indians Day to savor. Our final words, of course, from Nikhil, Vaishali, and Anirudh. What caught your eye the most? Because we'll look back to this in 10 years, 15 years' time. One memory which you'll take away and which will stick with you.
It has started. That is the most important thing. And then the way Harmanpreet was playing those shots, those were pleasing to the eye, and I can watch that inning forever. I would like to watch it whenever I wanted. The way she was hitting the ball and holding that pose, the grace that she has. We know Harmanpreet for that firepower, but the elegance she showed today was absolutely class. So that is something which will stick to me forever. And then the domestic talent that I have seen, Saika Ishant falling this way in against such big names in your world international level. So that is something which will stick with me forever. And then we were witnessing this from here. So I would love more and more, like this competition should just grow, and you will be amazed by the talent.
And we'll see more talent and offer, of course, tomorrow. Watch a long time. Ani, for you,
Yes, man. Harmanpreet.
Harmanpreet, yeah.
Hey, at the start, like it's obvious, it's always that way, right? Like once when you start with an exceptional spell or an exceptional batting display, that always will remain as one of the best moments of the start or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of that way. Like see, nobody forgets about that 158.
Yeah.
Irrespective of what they don't have any they don't. After that, there wasn't any 100 for them. That is
Yeah.
that is there. That but everybody, like if you ask that, oh, McCallum has the 100. You won't know, okay, how many hundreds our Kohli has or whatever it is.
Correct.
So it's kind of that way.
Okay, cool. And next, finally, with you and Sami Santosh coming in as well, saying super impressed with Saika Ishaq today and Jitamani Kadita too, and Harman's batting too keeps on reminding us why she's a beast, despite people trolling her for low scores and whatnot. I mean, Harman is, of course, the cherry on the cake. The fact that she's Indian captain now, 30 ball 65. Anything else, Nix, that you feel which will be worth talking about in 5, 10, 15 years' time?
I hope it's Saika Ishak's four wicket haul. Again, I wanted that to happen. We talked about it at the very start of the show because we know what Harman can do. It's not the first time that we've seen her do that. So definitely, it was a very pleasing sight. That cover drive is going to stay with us for a long, long time. But chuffed to bits for Saika Ishak because these are the stages that you dream of as a you want that opportunity, you want to do well, and you are able to do that in a very first game of a massive tournament, which could possibly be the turning point of women's cricket in India. I hope so. So hopefully Saika Ishak becomes a household name, and we have many such stories going forward in this WPL.
Yeah, well said, Nix. I mean, hopefully it is that watershed moment, the catalyst, call it what you want, but the WPL is here and it's up and running, and we're here on CDC with
And
the
by the
watch-alongs
way,
as well.
who all doubted that crowd won't be there? You have it in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. I think the crowd will only get better and bigger in the time to come. Obviously, it's a weekend, so we can see more crowd, and who knows, in the tournaments ahead, there will be, of course, home crowds as well. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for making your presence felt, all you guys. Enjoy your Saturday and enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, of course, in the evening.
We have our
And
own
of course,
enjoyment.
not to forget, at 5 p.m., we're doing the Ask Me DC watch along. I'm Abhi Shagde. We'll sign off right now, but it's been thoroughly entertaining. We'll see you
Thank
guys
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.